Interactive and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. We apologize for a late start due to major technical difficulties. In the news, herd immunity by the summer, the health minister making that prediction as vaccine and as scores turn up every day to get their vaccine. Security Minister Dame says he did not know of the DNA arrests in advance. And in our discussions, we are talking about forestry in the Bahamas as it is Forestry Awareness Week. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking with the Life with Key Foundations about some great opportunities that are going to be available. And later in Morning Blend Business, our twice-monthly series with the Access Accelerator and the Small Business Development Center returns. We are highlighting, profiling two more success stories. You don't want to miss that. That's coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Health Minister Renward Wells predicting that the Bahamas will reach herd immunity to COVID-19 by this summer. He says that given the fact that a number of Bahamians have already been exposed to COVID and a lot of Bahamians are already getting the vaccines, he does believe that by the time we enter the summer, the country would reach the desired herd immunity, which means that the country will be able to move in a more positive direction. According to the World Health Organization, herd immunity is the indirect protection of an infectious disease that happens when a population is immune either through vaccination or immunity developed through previous infection. The WHO notes that it is difficult to know how much of the population must be vaccinated to reach herd immunity to COVID-19. However, earlier in the pandemic, experts estimate that roughly 70% of the population would have to be immune to COVID to reach herd immunity. Others say the threshold could be higher than that. Meanwhile, residents are turning up to get their vaccines, some with wheelchairs, walkers, and canes. Eligible Bahamians anxious to get their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine have lined up and have been lining up outside Loyola Hall. Healthcare workers, uniformed officers, everyone 60 and over, and caregivers accompanying the elderly are eligible for the vaccine at this time. Governor General Sir Cornelius A. Smith, saying there's absolutely no truth to reports circulating on social media indicating that he is unwell. Governor General, who will turn 84 on April 7th, said that he was feeling extremely well and that he encourages people to take the COVID vaccine Sir Cornelius, who, along with his wife, were vaccinated on Thursday, expressed disappointment that anyone would spread the malicious truth, or the malicious rumor, rather, about his health. And Minister of National Security Marvin Dame says that he was unaware that 9 members of the DNA, including leader Arinthia Komalafe, were going to be arrested on Monday for allegedly attempting to breach Parliament and for unlawful assembly in relation to a protest they staged outside Parliament in early March. The members of the DNA were held by police at Central Police Station for about 5 hours before being released. Dames again saying that he did not know, and the commissioner said it was his decision to take the group in for questioning. Overseas, from Israel, parliamentary elections Tuesday resulting in a virtual deadlock for a 4th time in the past 2 years, leaving Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu with an uncertain future as the country is facing the prospect of continued political gridlock. The exit polls on Israel's 3 main TV stations indicating that both Netanyahu and his religious and nationalist allies, along with a group of anti-Netanyahu parties, fell short of the parliamentary majority required to form a new government. That raised the possibility of an unprecedented 5th consecutive election later this year. The election was seen as a referendum on Netanyahu's polarizing leadership, and the initial results showed the country remains as deeply divided as ever, with an array of small sectarian parties dominating the parliament. The results also signaled a continuing shift of the Israeli electorate toward the right wing, which supports West Bank settlements and opposes concessions in peace talks with the Palestinians. That trend was highlighted by the strong showing of an ultra-nationalist, anti-Arab religious party. After 3 previous inconclusive elections, Netanyahu had been hoping for a decisive victory that would allow him to form a government with his traditional ultra-Orthodox and hardline nationalist allies and seek immunity from corruption charges. In sports, for the 3rd consecutive year, one of the top breaststrokers in the country, Isaac Bastian, has qualified the NCAA Division I Swimming and Diving Championships, the men's version of which get underway today and will run through Saturday in North Carolina. The 20-year-old Bastian, who's qualified individually in both the 100 and 200-yard breaststroke, is also expected to be part of at least 3 relay teams for the Florida State University Seminoles. The FSU junior is the school record holder in both the 100 and 200 breast. You can read more about how he's doing and how he's expected to do in today's Guardian Sports section. And from the NCAA Basketball Championships, March Madness, very mad this year. A year after the NCAA tournament was canceled, the Madness returned with an opening weekend full of upsets. Number 1 seed Illinois is gone, so is Ohio State. High seeds Texas and Virginia are also out, replaced by upstarts and mid-major noisemakers. Gonzaga, the Zags, the only team to reach the Sweet 16 in 6 consecutive seasons. They're also 4 wins from completing perfection, trying to become the first undefeated champion since Indiana 45 years ago. Baylor, the big, bad, ball-hawking Bears appear to have found the form they had before a second COVID-19 pause. And Michigan, the Wolverines, have looked like a number 1 seed even without star Isaiah Livers. And Alabama, the Tide's mauling of Maryland in the second round shows just how potent the team can be. It's also Houston, the Cougars, with their same swagger that they had back in the 80s. But there are a lot of upstarts as well, so it's going to be an interesting tournament. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, weak ridging continues to build across the islands with mostly pleasant conditions. For all areas today, look for mostly sunny and warm conditions with the chance of a few light showers, mainly in the southeastern islands, becoming fair and warm tonight. Wind southeast to south at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times in the northwest and central Bahamas. East to southeast at 10 to 15 knots in the southeastern islands. Seas 3 feet or less in the northwest and central Bahamas, but 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Temperature-wise today, look for highs getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit. Overnight lows getting down about 64 Fahrenheit. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing today's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
We're back here with the Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan asking you to bear with us this morning as we're having some major issues with our equipment today. You can join the conversation, though. We are on Twitter at MorningBlend969 or Facebook, facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Email us, morningblend@nascar.com, or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. We've got Chester Robards with us this morning. Chester, good morning. Great to have you with us. Oh, we're going to connect with him. Okay, that's going to take a second there. All right. Coming up this morning, more weather and traffic. And in this hour, we're going to be talking about the forestry unit. You don't want to miss this segment. I'm telling you now, stay tuned for that. There's some things that are happening that we need to be aware of. And we're going to get to that with them in just a bit. Then in our 8 o'clock hour, the Life for Key Foundation will be here talking about some scholarship opportunities that are available. And and some of their programs that they're offering. We're going to be learning more about that. Then in our Morning Blend Business Hour at 9 o'clock, we're talking with our friends at Access Accelerator, the Small Business Development Center, and our twice-monthly segment profiling some of the folks who have benefited from their advice and funding and grants. We're going to hear 2 additional success stories this morning. So a lot to get to this morning. Hopefully the technology and equipment will communicate, but we will see. We will see. So far, it's not been that good, but we will see. We've got Chester now. Chester Robards, good morning. Okay, maybe not. Let's get into what's in the news. And in the news, the health minister says herd immunity by the summer. We're going to get to that in just a bit, but we do want to talk about this. The Attorney General, Carl Bethel, and National Security Minister Marvin Dames on the defense yesterday following the arrest of DNA leader Arinthia Komalafe and 8 DNA members. Both cabinet ministers are responding to claims that the arrests were politically motivated, calling those allegations shocking and unfounded. Shocking. Okay. For more on this, take a listen to this report from our Jasmine Brown.
The law does not apply to some and doesn't apply to others. We had a clear example that day. You had the taxi drivers who applied for a permit and they demonstrated peacefully. You had another group who did not apply for a permit and who probably did not see the need to apply for a permit and tried to overrun Parliament, injuring officers in the process. But we are willing to overlook that and to say that someone's right is being infringed upon.
Members of the DNA, including DNA leader Arinthia Komalafe, were arrested and held by police at Central Police Station for 5 hours for attempting to breach Parliament and for unlawful assembly during a protest earlier this month. The DNA demonstrated on Bay Street on March 3rd against the emergency order and demanded that Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis ring the bell. During that demonstration, a crowd of DNA supporters led by Komalafe rushed into Parliament Square before being escorted away from the area by police. Komalafe says the DNA did not apply for it because they did not have a protest. Dames disagreed.
According to the commission, the bigger problem was this, that they proceeded to overrun the officers and take over Parliament. And I believe that there are video clippings to that effect. But I saw nothing from the media expressing dismay about persons who were seeking leadership in this country. First and foremost, they did not have a permit, okay? The police were, I guess they were willing to overlook that. And the fact that they tried to overrun Parliament and hurt officers in the process. It was recorded by some of these media houses, and nothing was said to say that that was wrong.
Questions have been raised about the delayed arrest and whether politics was at play. Bethel dismissed that suggestion, adding that no one is above the law.
I was as surprised as anybody else in the Bahamas by the events as they occurred yesterday. It is so disturbing to me, the suggestion in a lot of the criticism, that there is a class of Bahamians, namely the political class, who are immune to the rule of law. We are a constitutional democracy. That means that everybody is subject to the rule of law, and the appropriate agency to investigate any alleged breach of the law is the police.
Dames says he is satisfied with Police Commissioner Paul Roll's explanation as to why they waited weeks to pursue the matter.
He said, Minister, my officers did not take action that day because I did not want it to appear as if, I was doing something wrong or I wanted a confrontation under their Parliament. So within his legal rights as the Commissioner of Police, he decided to proceed summarily. That's the law. He's governed by the law. He then went on to tell me that he waited for this period until things kind of died down.
That the arrests were politically motivated. He said the matter remains under investigation and should wrap up in a few days. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Okay, we've got Chester.
I'm here.
Okay, great. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning.
All right, so what did I just listen to? Where is this coming from now suddenly? Did anybody hear anything about officers getting injured before Dame said that?
That's news to me.
Did the commissioner even mention that at his press conference as another reason why he needed to bring these people in? This is brand new information. And if the cabinet of the Bahamas was so appalled by this, why did they not say anything before? Like, we can't believe what the DNA did today. We understand officers were injured. And this needs to, right? Say something. Where is this coming from? All of a sudden, huh? It might have taken the commissioner 3 weeks to act, fine. But 3 weeks for you to say that that's what happened? What type of injury? How? When? Where? What is this? I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying, why didn't you mention this before? How about this?
Apparently the media recorded it.
Oh, yeah?
No, I don't remember seeing
Okay.
any scuffle.
Is that well? Look at that. Boy, that is something else. What are we going to hear next week? About how they try to wrestle a weapon away from one of the officers? That's going to be in it too now. We're sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, actually. That's a bunch of garbage from both of those cabinet ministers. This is crazy, right? If that happened, there's no reason why you all have been silent on this for all that time. And maybe you didn't want to be seen as trying to influence the police to make an arrest. Although if they were injured, they could have arrested the people themselves, right? They are police officers. They're not like just pieces of paper floating in the air. Why didn't they try to arrest them if they were injured? You assault an officer? What? Stop it now. Stop it. I think we are, this week alone, the number of things I've heard from cabinet ministers, we have sung, especially for this administration, and amongst the lowest we've heard in many years. Now, I know everybody's frustrated. The year that we've had has been crazy, and there's a lot going on. But there's no reason for us to start talking nonsense. Assault. Okay, injuring officers. That's how you put it. Wow, this is very surprising. I'd like to see the video. If you've got the video, send it to us. We want to see where you were in. And well, why didn't the officers say anything? They were so overwhelmed by shock that they couldn't even perform their duties. Because I know if a regular citizen were to touch an officer, that could end very badly. Like, you try to shake his hand and he doesn't want you to. You'd be in some big problems. So what? I'm missing something.
What constitutes a demonstration? If me and 7 of my friends show up in the same color shirts, so when I go in the house?
Yes. Yeah. Now,
do the police stop me then?
If you come at them aggressively, I mean, you have the right to go in the House of Assembly, don't you?
Right.
But
what is aggressively?
If you've got placards and signs and you're chanting, ring the bell, I guess that's not a good thing.
Yeah, well.
That's not a good thing. So again, we see this part is causing us to miss the rest of what he said. Sure, if this was an unlawful, there are rules. Follow the rules. But don't start making up stuff as we go along, right? Was somebody injured or not? Who, how, when? Tell us more about that. That's a serious thing. That wasn't mentioned by the Commissioner of Police at all. And why 3 weeks? 3 weeks for an injury to an officer? And nobody said a thing. Maybe it's one of those bruises that show up the longer, after a while. Oh, wow, no, it's turning blue. I don't understand. Please make it make sense. Give us a call. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. This on top of the clemency thing. I still can't get over it. I really can't. It just doesn't make any sense. You're going to talk to the victims after you already granted somebody clemency. and then use that as an excuse to hold up the process 3 months after you were granted clemency. You're still in jail because you're now investigating to see.
Yeah.
Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. I don't know what's happening.
This one doesn't make you hold your head this morning.
I just want to put the head under the table. I just don't understand. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi. Good morning,
And Stephen.
Chester.
Yeah, man, guy. Hey, Dwight, I feel exactly the way you feel listening to that other nonsense this morning, right? Because where in the Bahamas a police can be injured, and a police can be injured in the Parliament Square, and the person don't be arrested, right? It is ludicrous, right? It and what I get is from this, right, is that this administration is continuing to cover and try to make sure that the Bahamian people are controlled and manipulated. Right now, there's no way to justify this justification that what Mr. James Doors came out with today. It only confirms that the commissioner of police is a puppet because he threw him under the bus because the commissioner of police said that the buck stopped to him. This is between him and the DNA, but the minister clearly demonstrated that the day that is not the case, right? And just how people were suspecting that this was politically motivated, the Attorney General and the Minister of National Security brought that confirmation to the Bahamas this morning. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. You guys have a nice day.
Well, okay. All right. I mean, perhaps, but definitely he knew a lot about what happened, right? He knew more than most of us. Somebody, even during this unlawful demonstration, they even had the nerve to injure someone. Oh, okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Hi. Well, we are here.
Couple of things. Why does Marvin Dames sound so angry and defensive? It's almost like people are accusing him of doing something. Wasn't it the commissioner of police who said he was the one who is responsible for the orders to arrest the DNA leader and her?
Maybe he's on edge. Maybe he thought the DNA was going to do one of those Capitol-type uprising things. Maybe storm the house and lock them in offices.
So he's comparing this 5'2" woman to what happened in the U.S.
Well, she wasn't alone. So.
Doesn't matter, but she was part of the group. So was she part of the group that injured these officers, made them in fear of their lives?
We don't know.
Because according to the commissioner, they was arrested for unlawful assembly.
Yeah.
Not some insurrection, right? Okay. So it'll be interesting to see if these new charges that Marvin Dames talk about will end up in the commissioner's mouth as other charges to be added.
Yeah, they may get charged with that. They may get charged with that too.
You know, who knows?
Right. It's within a year. It's been within a year. So
yeah, within a year. But the thing is, right? Ms. Kumalafi said yesterday on the show that they only got a call a day after they showed up with the
prison officers.
Yeah. In front of the National Security Building.
Yep.
And everyone should see that as, well, there's some coincidence going on here. You didn't call us for 3 weeks for this so-called insurrection that happened downtown. But as soon as we show up in front of your building with supporting the prison officers, you call us in and charge us with some, disorderly conduct or so, whatever he put into that. But
right.
It's clearly, now that Marvin Dames has spoken, the age has spoken, it's clearly a political move. I like Bulletin.
All right. Thanks a lot. You know, maybe the injuries to the officers, they're like delayed. You know, that happens. Right? I'm like, hey, why is this hurting? Oh, maybe that's when that knew with that placard. Oh, yeah. That's probably it. Good morning. Paper cut from the placard. That's what it is. Right. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Chester.
Hi.
Good morning.
You know, Dwight, as I listened to the events as they unfold, and I listened to one who has been following these matters, this incident, you know, let's look at what I saw or what I believe an overwhelming majority of the humans would have seen. You know, the day of that protest, according to what I on the newscasts, they had this protest. The DNA went down there. The leadership of DNA went down there, and according to what I heard, Ms. Komalafi said in her interview, their contention was they were going to protest, but they didn't see the need to apply for a permit to do so. As they're saying, as they have been saying, they don't see the need to apply. They shouldn't. They said they write the commissioner out of courtesy. You didn't hear that in the interview? That is where we're at. And I believe that justice delayed is justice denied, you know, because this thing is only going to get more messy. This is the Lent season. The devil is 10 times more busy, and you're going to hear all kinds of wacky stuff going on, you know. I believe that, and everybody seems like they're not being, they're being intellectually dishonest, you know, because look, if you stage a protest and you believe, and the primary purpose for doing so is because you believe that you shouldn't have to apply to the police for a permit to do so, that is where it should have been. Even after the arrest, now.
Is he there? Nope. Okay, I don't know what happened. Let's take that other call, and then I'll read a lot of these messages coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on there.
Hey, morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Yeah, what I want to find out from you, that report from the National Security Minister, did he say someone was injured?
Yeah.
Or you don't know?
That's what he said. He said injuring.
He said someone who was injured.
He said they were injured. They caused injury to officers. Injuring officers.
It may.
Sorry.
It may cause injury, or
no. He said that they caused injuries. They were injuring officers.
Well, maybe you can play that one again. I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. Chester, am I delusional today?
No. He said that someone was injured.
Yeah. It's shocking because this is the first time we're hearing about it. But he says.
So that's what I'm saying. Must you play that again? I must have missed that.
Okay, I'll ask the producer to see if he can isolate that part. Yeah. Seriously. Let's see if you can find that part where he says causing injuries to officers, and then we'll play it again for people to hear that. This officer we need to interview him, go to the hospital and find him in his sickbed to talk to him about what happened. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to both of you, and good morning, Wiley Bahamas, Cial and Johnson. Let's
Hi.
put some things in place. First of all, it begins to give us reasons why we shouldn't believe the crime report, because the Commissioner of Police left out these. If these things are to be true, then the Commissioner of Police has been leaving out information concerning the crime statistics that has happened. Secondly, there's both the media videos as well as the live feed from the DNA that shows the actions of events. And what you actually saw was a somewhat boisterous confrontation. Then you saw the khakis individuals speaking to the leadership. You saw the khaki individuals leading the DNA across the street into the square across the street. Then you saw the khaki individuals standing there and engaging them as they said whatever they said. And if you look closely at the video, there's no intentional personal contact or anything between them and the police. And the question is, where a number of things are said by the commission as well as Marvin Dames, such as did they have all the video? Did they have permission from the speaker to be there? The question then became, when was the law passed requiring the public gallery to need consent to go into a public gallery? That's no more different than needing consent for the public to go into the courthouse. This is open thing. You need permission to cross the bar. Mm-hmm. You don't need permission to appear from the other side of the bar. And so you have to begin to question the integrity of individuals who begin to interject events that has not occurred. In fact, there is video evidence to support it. But the question was then asked, when you look at that as well as the armored vehicle down at the police headquarters and begin to question the line of events or thinking behind the individuals. And here's what's happened. We must ask ourselves, why is the FNM responding in such a manner? Now, the FNM had about 2 or 3 surveys that showed that the DNA is the primary threat against them going into this election. And they are seeking to bring a level of discrediting to it. And I would challenge the FNM. If all of you so-called talking heads and others don't talk to me, tell the FNM to release their last 3 internal surveys, and you will see the impact of not just the DNA votes, but the subsequent sub-questioning of those individuals that asks the people, the independents, and the disenfranchised FNM, who will they most likely vote for? And those disenfranchised FNM says the DNA. So this is basically a political response to negative polling that the FNM has that shows the DNA is the viable threat, and possibly, who knows, maybe win the election, and so the FNM is simply battling for who will be in opposition. They are seeking to make sure that they don't become the third party.
Yeah.
And
okay,
so,
very interesting.
Just tell them release it. Release the information if they want to discount what I just said.
I'm sure they won't, but thank you very much. Okay, I think let's hear it again so that we can all be on the same page. This is what the National Security Minister said yesterday.
And the fact that they tried to overrun Parliament and hurt officers in the process. It was recorded by some of these media houses, and nothing was said to say that that was wrong.
Questions have been raised about the delayed arrest and whether politics was at play. Bethel dismissed that suggestion, adding that no one is above the law.
I was as surprised as anybody else in the Bahamas by the events as they occurred yesterday. It is so disturbing to me, the suggestion that is implicit in a lot of the criticism, that there is a class of Bahamians, namely the political class, who are immune to the rule of law. We are a constitutional democracy, is subject to the rule of law, and the appropriate agency to investigate any alleged breach of the law is the police.
Dame says he is satisfied with Police Commissioner Paul Roll's explanation as to why they waited weeks to pursue the matter.
He said, the minister, my officers did not take action that day because I did not want it to appear as if, I was doing something wrong or I wanted a confrontation under their Parliament. So within his legal rights as the Commissioner of Police, he decided to proceed summarily. That's the law. He's governed by the law. He then went on to tell me that he waited for this period until things kind of died down.
Roll has also denied that the arrests were politically motivated. He said the matter remains under investigation and should wrap up in a few days. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right, start that from the beginning. I want you to hear this.
The law does not apply to some and doesn't apply to others. We had a clear example that day. You had the taxi drivers who applied for a permit, and they demonstrated peacefully. You had another group who did not apply for a permit and who probably did not see the need to apply for a permit and tried to overrun Parliament, injuring officers in the process. But we are willing to overlook that.
All right. They tried to override Parliament, injuring officers.
Overrun.
Okay. Right. And the first time he said it, this is somebody texting that too. Like, did he mean that they tried to overrun, which would hurt officers if they had been successful, or were officers actually injured? Come, don't bring that up if nobody got injured. Don't say that. Don't insert that in this, right? The unlawful protest is strong enough. Strong enough.
Was it a protest?
Well.
Sounds like they were just making a suggestion walking down the street.
Let's take some more calls, and then we'll get to your messages. Good morning, caller on there. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, Chester. Good morning to those who wake up in the land of living. Dwight, I think the officers that Mr. James is talking about, either they were airlifted or they ran away for counseling.
And they're just getting back now and telling their tale.
Came back 3 weeks later. But Dwight, I was, I like to talk to people, not just call a talk show for talking's sake. I talked to a noted QC yesterday, and I asked him about the situation, about Ms. Kamalafi situation. But one point that he brought to me is that, crimes has statute of limitations, right? And he says that, the police, if they see where the statute of limitation isn't up on certain things, if it takes a year and something happened today and they lock you up December the 29th and the statute of limitation goes within that time, they still have rights. Now, he only explained that to me. I only asked him.
Yeah,
but
that's fine. We have the commissioner explained, and yeah, that's not the issue that people have. I mean, it's curious. It's curious.
I wanted to get that out, but Dwight, what I wanted to say is that you remember a couple of years ago, Mr. Strachan, Mr. Minnis, along with Renard Henfield, they marched, and they weren't supposed to march. They didn't have a permit then. And then you remember when they went over PI and they, I think they damaged the fence or something like that, or something of that nature. So why?
I don't recall the first part that you're saying, and I don't know if Henfield was in the second one. I'm not sure, but I know they were. But anyway, go make your point. Make your point. I don't know if that's exactly
what I'm saying, right? I mean, I listen to a gentleman who calls your talk show, right? Just how you know my name, Dwight, you know Dave, you know Anton, the gentleman named Cleaver Duncan. And everyone knows you're a F&M supporter. But my brother, let me tell you something. In life today, if you're wrong, man. I respect you as a man. I respect you as a man, Cleaver. But, you can't say Menace right, the government right now, because there's the government, but when they was in the opposition and they march, right, they was wrong. Come on, man. You be real, bro. Be real and made up a better country. And I think Dwight would be a more balanced talk show host. But if y'all asking them, people can call you and they accept you all wrong, then it ain't make no sense y'all even call it. Have a good day, my brother.
Oh, okay. Hey, that doesn't stop any of the supporters of any of the parties, right or wrong, from calling. Let's take this call and then we'll read your messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Two comments on both ministers have said that the law is for everybody. Next time your reporters get to interview them, ask, especially the Attorney General, why has there never been in umpteen years a member of Parliament brought before the court for not adhering to the Public Disclosure Act? Every last one of them who've been in Parliament for probably 20 years has been in breach of that act. And that's part of the statute laws of the Bahamas. And they break that religiously. And they don't care. And there's no penalty or any body is charged before the court for doing that. And these are persons who are charged with drafting laws, bringing laws to Parliament, debating them, and passing them. But they love to get on the television and pontificate. But there's equality under the law, and everybody is subject to the law. Not those persons who sit in Parliament over the past 20 years, because none of them has, over the past 20 years, probably this year may be the first time they ever did it. But how come none of them ever get brought before the court for breaching the Public Disclosure Act? And as far as what Mr. Davis said, so they stormed the Parliament.
They tried to overrun.
Overrun the Parliament, right? And then he took a big shot at the media. He took a big shot at the media, claiming that the media saw that happen.
Yeah.
And none of the media reported that. Now, I know we have ZNS, which is a totally different situation than the other media houses. But if that had happened that day, I know for sure that one of the media houses would have reported what he would do, whatever word he used,
Definitely.
of the Parliament by the DNA.
I suspect the minister is using his CCTV camera. They don't use that for anything like for fighting crimes, but probably
and I
for
guess
this.
the
He
angle
has
for
the
the camera
right,
showing
exactly.
probably shows something different.
There you go.
See,
From the ground level, the media didn't see that, but from
the
up
media
there,
and not only the media didn't see that, but I don't know if when they had the DNA people in Central, if they told them that officers properly being charged with assault of officers, if that's one of the charges they discussed.
I'm sure they're shocked. They were shocked to hear this last night or this
Because
morning.
If the officers didn't do that whilst they was in Central Police Station, then that's another thing that shows that the officers ain't doing their job properly. Because if you allow members of the police force to be assaulted, and you're not going to even discuss it with the people who you allege have done something in some breach during that period, and you won't discuss it with them, that's an amazing thing.
But you know fully well there's not one member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force who would get injured from somebody who would just allow that to slide.
No, and
not one.
Especially out there at Parliament, because plenty times there have been protests, legal and illegal, so-called protests in the front of Parliament, and the police have escorted persons to Central Police Station.
My goodness.
On many occasions. But ask Mr. Bessel, the Attorney General, and Mr. Dames, when is the last time a member of Parliament who have been in breach of the Public Disclosure Act has faced the courts for breaching that act?
It'll take them about 3 weeks to try to figure that one out. Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate your call. All right, let's read these messages. Lots of messages on this. Everybody's up, apparently, this morning. Let's see. Regarding the DNA party demonstrators and subsequent recent arrest by police and their far-fetched claims that politicians were involved and that by police for political reasons, really, I do think the fringe political party may be taking themselves too seriously. They've always been a non-factor, and I believe the next election will change nothing. All right. Well, you can believe what you want. Here's another one. We live in a world where we call wrong right and right wrong. Brave, Davis, Loretta Butler Turner, and Glennis Hannah Martin should feel ashamed for backing Komolafe without first getting the facts. Shame on them. What facts are we talking about? This one says, Dwight, this situation reminds me of when you throw a rock into a group of dogs. The AG was quite measured in his response. He probably wasn't hit. But the other one, I don't know. Okay, that's a text. Another one here. I really had Marvin Dames. Oh, boy. Okay. This person's saying they're disappointed in Marvin Dames. I'm paraphrasing there. Where is the assaulting a police officer charge? If there is evidence, where is the charge? This one says, remember when I said this happens every time before an election? Okay, did you? The governing party always makes their fate. Listen, my question is, how come the DNA was the only political party not given a permit? And does the FNM and PLP ever have to apply for a permit? And people must know that the Commissioner of Police can be taken to court for refusing to grant a permit without good reason. Another text. This is a distraction for something that is going on to take our eyes off what is going on behind the scenes. Another text. What is strange is that the commissioner didn't arrest that officer who physically attacked a suspect in custody. What now? They're investigating. Isn't that what they said? All right. Have you heard anything about that? You heard anything about that one? Do you expect to hear anything about that one? Yeah. This one says Capitol riots, Bahamian style. Ha ha. Okay. Another one. Like your mama told you, once you tell a lie, you have to tell more lies to support the first lie. Oh, boy. This one says, first they were called in to answer to unlawful assembly. Later in the day, the Commissioner of Police mentioned storming the House. The next day, Marvin Dames mentions injuries to officers. By the time the Prime Minister weighs in, they might be accused of being concerned with the prison officers to take possession of the armored tank. They're making it up as they go along, jokey leaders. Yep, every day is something new. That's really something else. Here, another text. Officers were injured when the DNA tried to overrun Parliament. This one says the commissioner stated that officers were pushed as the group tried to gain access to Parliament. Oh. I think the word injured is kind of overly exaggerated. You think? What the commissioner sought to do by not confronting that group on the 3rd was just compounded by arresting them yesterday. That's just on Monday. That's just horrible optics around across the board. Pushed to injured. This one says, do you know where I can find the legislation pertaining to demonstrators or protesters requiring a permit? Yeah. Let me see. I'll try to pull it up for you. The National Security Minister was condemned by the court. You're still talking about that. Okay. This one says, well, this government is the last of the Trump era. Look at it would seem that all their policies lean towards Trump policies. We need a new direction and to get rid of who have no clue to govern. I'm one of the DNA members who took part in the march. Took part on March 3rd. It's so sad to hear how this story on the part of Marvin Dameson, the commissioner, is changing by the minute. As honorable men, I challenge them to be true to themselves and God. Speak truth always, your story cannot change. Another text is rather farcical when you listen to our leaders put on the armor of the rule of law, but conveniently discard it when it suits them. This town is too small for engagement in what is clearly disingenuous talk and rhetoric. This type of behavior and lack of credibility from supposed leaders is extremely tragic. And this... Oh boy, this one says, it's good to know that the Commissioner of Police still has a year to charge the Minister of Health and the Prime Minister for breaking the competent authority rules by their own admission of gathering to campaign and going to exercise before the 5 a.m. curfew.
Well, there you have it.
Well, we will see. We will see. We're going to wait a few months for that. Someone's telling me not just the CCTV, but probably drones. Probably the drones helped. Yeah. All right, one final call, and then we need to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
CCTV, but probably.
Good morning, caller.
Mr. Strachan, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, well, Dave, good morning.
You all right?
Hey, I'm here.
Mr. Strachan, I mean, I afraid for you. I say, you, but be careful. You don't come bring a thing to lock you up for causing insurrection, you know.
Me?
But you know we get it back, Mr. Strachan. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Mr. Strachan, I mean, the bigger picture, I'll be respectful. Mr. Strachan, why are you surprised about a man who was condemned for lying? Is moving lying thought like or not? When this man, hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
First of all, don't be surprised right now. We all know this man like they get directed. Don't be surprised if they be charged with assaulting officers and go on the world. You can assault big grown officers and nobody get locked up, huh? And the man attacking the media, I mean, Mr. Strachan, with all due respect, right? That's why this man must be banned from running in this election. I mean, legally. This man is an impulsive liar and a threat to the nation. When you come and lie...
We get it, Dave. You have many issues with him. Okay. Let's take a break. When we come back, we are going to get into something very different. Forestry Week. Trust me, you don't want to miss this discussion because there's some things happening that we really do need to be concerned about, and the forestry unit is going to talk about that as well. That's coming up. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
No one in the world ever had a love like love. For nowhere in the world could there be a boy as true as you love. All my love I give gladly to you. All your love you give gladly to me. Tell me why then, oh why should it be that we go on hurting each other? We go on hurting each other, making each other cry, hurting each other without ever knowing why. Closer than
Get ready! The real March Madness is here! Up to 100% off store-wide at Alive! That's right! Devices, earbuds, tablets, and so much more with crazy slashed prices. Pay close attention to our social media pages. Visit any Alive location or visit bealive.com for the best deals on some of your favorite devices and accessories. That's March Madness going on now at Alive. Believe in best.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
Time for your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Here's what's happening in real-time traffic. We're already seeing the heavy traffic on Smile Butler Highway from just north of Fire Trail. There's actually some traffic south of Fire Trail as well, heading the northbound lanes, heading towards Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Gladstone Road also heavy, northbound lane heading towards JFK Drive. Further south on Smile Butler Highway, as you get closer to Carmichael Road, you're going to be noticing the traffic in the southbound lanes at that junction there. And in between Smile Butler Highway and Faith Avenue on Carmichael, it's looking pretty busy. Faith Avenue southbound towards Carmichael also. Heavy traffic there this hour. Elsewhere, we've got St. Vincent Road eastbound to Blue Hill Road and Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill. Traffic building there. And heavy traffic on Blue Hill Road northbound just north of Soldier Road heading towards Independence Drive. That's a hot spot for you this morning. Elsewhere, in the intersections along Prince Charles Drive, so Prince Charles and Fox Hill, and Prince Charles and Beatrice Avenue, building traffic there. Prince Charles, Robinson Road, Soldier Road, especially Robinson and Old Trail Road, westbound lanes there. Building traffic on Marathon, northbound, Bernard Road, westbound, and Eastern Road not looking so bad so far this morning. That's your real-time traffic. We'll have another report for you in just about half an hour. Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. And we've got another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. Here's what's happening. Weak ridging continues to build across the islands, producing mostly pleasant conditions for all areas today. Look for that to hold true. Mostly sunny and warm with a chance of a few light showers, mainly in the southeastern Bahamas. Becoming fair and warm tonight. Temperature-wise, look for high temperatures getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 64 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius. It's about 72 degrees right now in fair skies in Nassau. In your extended outlook, for the next couple of days, high pressure will continue to build across the islands. So for Thursday, mostly sunny and hot with just a slight chance of a brief passing shower, becoming fair and mild at night, breezy in the southeast Bahamas. Friday, mostly sunny and hot with just a slight chance of mild. At night, breezy in the central and southeast Bahamas. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Rev. Basketball fans, sign up for Rev Trio and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free. Call 601-8992 or email trio@cablebahamas.com to sign up. Rev, you and us together.
RBC and Visa bring you a benefit as unique as you to enjoy Disney Plus. Get 2 months of the all-new Disney Plus streaming subscription on us if you have an RBC Visa Platinum card. Learn more by visiting www.rbc.com/Caribbean/Disney. Reimagine new ways to bank better.
TF Express Delivery, the Uber for items, packages, and documents. It's the Bahamas' most efficient domestic delivery service. We pick up and deliver for businesses and individuals, and we're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for deliveries anywhere in Nassau. TF Express Delivery, the Uber for items, packages, and documents. Call us today at 815-4628 or visit our website, tfxdelivery.com.
AID features Napa Auto Parts which meet or exceed OE specifications. Parts for Asian vehicles are available at great prices. Filters from $2, brakes from $22, tie rod ends from $21, head gaskets from $10, and fuel pumps from $32. AID is also your destination for the best selection of automotive accessories. Hubcap sets from $22.45, steering wheel covers from $4.50, car mat set and seat covers from $34.44. Wipers, wash and wax products, motor oils, and automotive chemicals for every vehicle. Angle grinders from $44.53, pressure washers from $162. For the month of February, all Napa starters and alternators are 15% off at all AID locations. AID is now open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. AID, Blue Hill Road and Wolf Road have all you really need and more.
Looking for plenty food and you're on a budget? Wait, I'd break. Stop into Wendy's and grab our latest bundle. Introducing the Biggie Bag. With the new Biggie Bag, you get a Dave single, junior fries, regular drink, and 4-piece nuggets for only $7.25, VAT inclusive. Add an apple pie for just $1 more. Now that's a deal. It's the best on these streets. Available at all locations. Restrictions apply. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. They pick in line with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? It'd be a paradise and put up a fucking line. They took all the trees and put them in a tree museum. And they charge the people $1.50 to see them. No, 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 don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? It'd be a paradise and put up a fucking line. Hey, farmer, put away your DDT. I don't care about spots on my apples. Leave me the birds and the bees, please. That you don't know what you got till it's gone. It'd be a paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, now they pay.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. As we promised you, we're going to be talking about forestry in the Bahamas. It is Forestry Awareness Week, and we're very pleased to welcome from the Forestry Unit. We've got LaToya Williams, and I believe we have Director Christopher Russell. Yes, good morning. Great to have you both with us.
Good morning. Morning, and thank you for having us again, Dwight.
Yes.
And Chester.
All right, so just briefly, before we break for the news, we're going to pick up on the other side with a lot to get into, but just tell us about why this is important to every year celebrate forestry awareness in the country.
Well, every year on the 21st of March, globally, instituted by the United Nations, it was agreed that a day should be put aside to celebrate forests and trees in terms of how important they are with respect to how important because they are the lungs of the earth. Without trees, there's no oxygen. And so now we're talking about climate change and reducing the impacts of climate change. Forests are able to assist with their carbon sinks, and so they store carbon, and so they help us reduce the greenhouse gas emissions that are taking place around the planet. So it's important that we bring awareness to our country as to what these benefits are from forests. And this is why we celebrate this particular day, and we have a week of activities.
Okay. All right. Great. We're going to talk about all of that. And I want to get into some issues as well with how we are protecting our trees in the country when we come back. We're going to take a break for news and then be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
They paved paradise and put up a fucking lie. With a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go?
Nassau, Bahamas.
It's Wednesday, March 24th, 2021, and you're listening to the Guardian News Network Morning Report. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Thanks for tuning in. Topping the news. More denials from government that the police commissioner was acting under orders when he arrested DNA leaders Monday. Both Attorney General Carl Baffle and National Security Minister Marvin Dames have denounced that assertion as shocking and unfounded. Jasmine Brown reports.
The law does not apply to some and doesn't apply to others. We had a clear example that day. You had the taxi drivers who applied for a permit and they demonstrated peacefully. You had another group who did not apply for a permit and who probably did not see the need to apply for a permit and tried to assist in the process. But we are willing to overlook that and to say that someone's right is being infringed upon.
Members of the DNA, including DNA leader Arinthia Komolafe, were arrested and held by police at Central Police Station for 5 hours for attempting to breach Parliament and for unlawful assembly during a protest earlier this month. The DNA demonstrated on Bay Street on March 3rd against the emergency order and demanded that Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis ring the bell. During that demonstration, a crowd of DNA supporters led by Komolafe rushed into Parliament Square before being escorted away from the area by police. Komolafe says the DNA did not apply for a permit to demonstrate because they did not have a protest. Dames disagreed.
According to the commission, the bigger problem was this, that they proceeded to overrun the offices and take over Parliament. And I believe that there are video clippings to that effect. But I saw nothing from the media expressing dismay about persons who were seeking leadership in this country. First and foremost, they did not have a permit, okay? The police were, I guess they were willing to overlook that. And the fact that they tried to overrun Parliament and hurt officers in the process. It was recorded by some of these media houses, and nothing was said to say that that was wrong.
Questions have been raised about the delayed arrest and whether politics was at play. Bethel dismissed that suggestion, adding that no one is above the law.
I was as surprised as anybody else in the Bahamas by the events as they occurred yesterday. It is so disturbing to me, the suggestion that is implicit in a lot of the criticism, that there is a class of Bahamians, namely the immune to the rule of law. We are a constitutional democracy. That means that everybody is subject to the rule of law, and the appropriate agency to investigate any alleged breach of the law is the police.
Dames says he is satisfied with Police Commissioner Paul Roll's explanation as to why they waited weeks to pursue the matter.
He said, the minister, my officers did not take action that day because I did not want it to appear as if, you know, I was doing something wrong or I wanted a confrontation under their Parliament. So within his legal rights as the Commissioner of Police, he decided to proceed summarily. That's the law. He's governed by the law. He then went on to tell me that he waited for this period until things kind of died down.
Roll has also denied that the arrests were politically motivated. He said the matter remains under investigation and should wrap up in a few days. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Still, leader of the Democratic National Alliance, Arinthia Komalafe, says her experience now has her questioning how the powers of the police commissioner are used. Kyle Joaquin has that.
The DNA leader says the timing of Monday's ordeal was a bit more than interesting. She said a day after DNA members joined prison officers protesting outside of the Ministry of National Security, she was informed that she would have to come down to the police station for questioning. However, that turned into her and 8 other party members being held in police custody for 5 hours. The reason? A protest they led 3 weeks ago in Parliament Square.
And ought to be concerning for all of us as Bahamians if one can use this discretion in that manner and you not know when something is going to be, it was an issue. Right. So the first we heard of it was Thursday of last week. So I didn't even know it was an issue. Right. And so your life can be pending and you don't even know it's pending.
Police Commissioner Paul Rhodes said he was the one who instructed that Komalafe and others be brought in for questioning. During the 5 hours in police custody, Komalafe said she spent most of it in prayer and thinking about her family, especially her children, who knew she had a meeting with police, but expected her to be home at least by noon.
Just a sense of calm to know that everything will be all right. And so I explained it to them. I don't think they knew the magnitude of it, because to be quite frank with you, I don't know if I even knew the magnitude of it, of what was transpiring. My eldest daughter, Morgan, came to me and she said, well, when will you be back at home? And I gave them a time. And I knew that while I was sitting in Central Police Station, I told them about 12 o'clock, because I didn't think it would take so long. I went 9:30 a.m. And so when I saw 12 o'clock came, I was concerned.
Hours later, Komalafe would emerge through the doors of Central Police Station into the arms of her husband. Although disappointed, Komalafe said she was moved by the support of men and women, particularly those across the political divide who came out to support her. And as she moves into what is shaping up to be an interesting political season, Komalafe says she's developed such a level of maturity that whatever comes her way, she just deals with it.
The impact that it normally has on me is normally from a spiritual and an emotional standpoint when it impacts those that are closest to me and those that I love. And this particular instance, while if I was brought in to be questioned for whatever matter because I'm standing on whatever convictions I'm standing on, I can handle that for myself. But then I also have to be mindful of the fact that it has an emotional and psychological impact on persons who support me more, including my family members like my husband, my children, my parents.
And now being the first woman to head a major political organization in the country, she's up for the fight and said this election is different. For starters, she switched constituencies from Killarney to Carmichael, an area she grew up in.
So I wanted to go back to that community. I wanted to give back, just like I do with being in Grantstown. I wanted to go back there into that community and be able to give back what it gave to me, which was life and inspiration.
An attorney who has also studied finance and accounting, Komalafe says despite the many hats she may wear, her favorite roles are those she plays within her family.
And I'm just a regular, down-to-earth person. I am a wife of almost 16 years now, a mother of 3 children, an 11, a 12-year-old, and a 14-year-old. And I have a pet dog whose name is Onyx. She's the life of the house, in addition to everything else that goes on. And I'm a daughter and a sister. And in fact, that's the part of my life that I treasure most, just my family life.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
In other news, Minister of Health Renward Wells believes this country could achieve herd immunity to COVID-19 by the start of summer. He optimistically declared yesterday that the Bahamas is in the final stretch of the fight against the virus.
But given the fact of the amount of Bahamians who've already been exposed to COVID, if you do the math, it says a lot of Bahamians have already been exposed based on the fact that we are around about 8,700 positives. Along with our vaccination program, I do believe by the time we enter the summer that the Bahamas will have entered and we would have reached our desired herd immunity, which means that the country will be able to move in a more positive direction.
Well, at last check, health officials claimed more than 1,500 people had received the first shot of the AstraZeneca vaccine. The nurse in charge of vaccination at Loyola Hall estimates that 500 vaccinations. Gillian Gray takes a look at how the process is working.
They came in wheelchairs with walkers and some with their caregivers. The over 60 grouping is overwhelmingly supporting the vaccine rollout.
I am happy because I'm tired of wearing this. I feel liberated. I feel liberated. I am pleased because now I can live a normal life.
79-year-old Sylvia Patricia Graham and 70-year-old Deidre Woods arrived at the vaccine center at about 9:45 a.m. and by 10:15 a.m. they were walking out the door smiling. It was the same for John Turnquest and Joseph Lewis.
I love life. I love living. And I want to be sure that whatever's good for me to keep it that way.
As soon as it's introduced to the Bahamas, I want to be second in line because I heard the Prime Minister say he's going to be first, so I said I'll be number 2.
66-year-old Lewis was joined by his daughter and wife, who both got the vaccine. His daughter, who works in the medical field, says she wasn't worried about possible side effects.
I had no fears. I just wanted to take it. Yeah, because my thing is I know that other people have taken it.
The first phase of the vaccine includes medical professionals, caregivers, and persons over 60 years old. 89-year-old Dr. Michael Gerasimos says, as a former general practitioner, he knows the benefits of vaccinations. He was joined by his neighbor and caregiver, Jacqueline Derrica.
I feel more confident, and I'm still going to wear my mask because it's essential, but I feel a bit more protected. Feel the stick at all?
I'm not sure. No, it was fine. No, she had sweet hands.
As she has pre-existing conditions, Miriam Emanuel says taking the vaccine was a no-brainer for her. She says she has friends who let their children talk them out of coming, but she's blocked.
I am not listening to all the talks on the media or the social media or persons who get their own opinion. I listen to science, the professionals. So after listening to Jerome Sawyer's show on Thursday night, I made up my mind that I would take the shot and trust God for whatever happens.
We spoke to Senior Nursing Officer Sherry Ann Brister, who says their numbers have steadily increased. They're seeing about 500 people daily. And while that is a mammoth task, she said their system is working and things have been going smoothly.
We have also seen an increase in our healthcare workers coming to get their vaccination.
Commodore Tellis Bethel received his vaccine shot yesterday at the inaugural rollout of the Defense Force Base's vaccine site. We met Petty Officer Wellington Davis during his 15-minute observation.
Did a lot of study on it, a lot of reading. My sister's a nurse and she kept me up to date with it, so just came out to take it.
Nervous at all, sorry?
At first, yes.
But as soon as you were finished, you felt
good.
Both he and Chief Superintendent Matthew Edgecombe say they're encouraging other officers to get vaccinated.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of us were affected, a lot of officers on the front line, and they know to protect themselves and their family. They need to do it. Yeah. I don't see the big risk in it. All right? I see a risk in not doing it.
For the Guardian News Network, I'm Jillian Gray.
Stay with us. There's more news after the break.
At Apex Award Signs and Engraving, the name says it all. The country's trusted name for trophies, plaques, corporate seals, rubber stamps, badges, bumper stickers, traffic and street signs, keychains, t-shirts, interior signs, restaurant menus, and so much more. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 128 Mount Royal Avenue in Wilton Street. Open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Visit ApexAwardsBahamas.com. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 1 in the Bahamas.
Been up by Pender the other day and I meet one whale hook hanging by the front door. I say, what it is, Ahab? What's with the hook? Then I say, Lampkin, I ain't taking no chances. I hear the ministry say we got to be careful of the corona Spike. You only got to tell me once. I want to see him come in here. I'll show him what Spike looked like. I say, oh, okay. I thought you was trying to hook people with your great selection of granite, marble, porcelain, and ceramic. He said, that ain't bad, Lampkin. I tell you, you continues to surprise me. Pender Tile on Prince Charles Drive. We sell tile.
Shoppers who know value really know super value and quality supermarkets. Rainbow tuna, 5-ounce can, 69 cents. Alberto mayonnaise, 32-ounce jar, $2.29. Mott's apple juice, 1 gallon, $6.99. Barra's classic or chicken franks, 12-ounce pack, 2 for $3. Panami raw shrimp, $31.40, 1-pound bag, $6.99. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays. Super value and quality supermarkets.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Business travel just got easier with the Alive Corporate Business Plan. Check your messages, check on the staff, or simply keep your emails in check. When traveling on business, you'll have the confidence in managing your office, staying in touch with your team, vendors, and customers. You can roam like you've never left your office with the all-new suite of Alive Liberty Executive Plans. For more information, contact the experts at Oceans. Call 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands today.
Give me my pizza right away. Gotta move quick, no time to wait. No long lines inside the place. Little Caesars, I love the taste. Hot and ready. Just come now, you don't have to call, now you don't have to wait. Hot and ready. Large pepperoni, $7.99 every day. Hot and ready. Oh, yeah. Straight out the oven and freshly made. Hot and ready. Little Caesars is hot and ready. Little Caesars is. Get yours now at Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, and now East Street South, Pineapple Plaza. Pizza.
So, Gianna, how often have you been flossing? Mm-hmm. Well, you know that's not enough. And are you still working over at the daycare? Okay. How's Franklin? Haven't seen him at the club. Mm-hmm. I see. How are your boys doing? Okay. Sounds good. Now you just tell me if this hurts. Oh, boy. That's a doozy. Did I ever tell you about the shark I found in my pool?
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like a dentist that doesn't try to talk to you with your mouth full.
Sounds good.
CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Atlantic Medical Insurance Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Coral Isle Pension Services Bahamas Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Pensions. And Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
Welcome back. With millions of people around the world being vaccinated against COVID, the tourism minister is optimistic our number one industry could rebound quickly. Bethany McDermott reports.
Tourism Minister Dionisio Diagler expressing optimism that tourism could rebound sooner than expected. This as he says there seems to be travel as vaccines become available.
I'm hoping by the end of the year we should see a substantial, I don't know if we'll be back to 2019, that was a record year, but certainly well on our way to get there. So I'm feeling much better now than I was 3 or 4 months ago.
In June, the tourism minister said it would take the country's number one industry from 18 to 24 months to bounce back, following the devastating blow dealt by the global pandemic. But today, Diagler struck a different tone. He said officials are detecting a monthly uptick in visitors applying for travel visas.
And every month we're seeing an increase. And certainly now in March and April, based on the numbers that we're seeing passing through that, and also based on the numbers that the hotels are reporting to us. As we've always said, we expect the numbers to slowly increase through this year.
The tourism minister attributed the increase in arrivals to the rapid increase in COVID-19 vaccinations in the United States. He again asserted his view that tourism sector workers should be vaccinated, but noted the decision on if the vaccine is mandatory lies solely in the hands of hotel owners. Diagler said he's expecting the trend to eventually pick up.
You'll see that the cruise companies are making sure or insisting that all of their staff and all of some airlines that you want to go on a particular airline, you have to be vaccinated. So I expect that trend to continue where persons involved in the tourism industry will start to require that their employees, their staff, their guests get vaccinated if they want to use the facilities or the mode of transportation.
However, he said hotel owners are anxious for their employees to get the jab.
The hotel owners are very concerned about persons getting vaccinated. They're anxious for their staff to get vaccinated. So we, first of all, from the government side and the Ministry of Health, have to provide the vaccines. And then we have to undergo an exercise to encourage the staff as much as possible to do it willingly.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Bethany McDermott.
That's going to do it for local news. Stay with us. AP News is next.
Don't wait for disaster to strike. This hurricane season, be ready.
Protect your home with an affordable and comprehensive home insurance policy from Shield Insurance. You can't control what nature blows your way, but with Shield Insurance, you can rest easy as you ride out the storm. Protect your largest and most valuable investment. Don't take a chance. Put your home in our hands.
Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
Tuberculosis or TB is an airborne disease that mainly affects the lungs. When people infected with TB cough, sneeze, sing or laugh, droplets with the bacteria that causes TB can be released into the air and may affect others. Some people are at higher risk of developing the disease if exposed to the TB bacteria. If you were in close contact with someone with active TB disease, go to a country where TB is common, have uncontrolled diabetes, have HIV/AIDS, are malnourished, live or work in a hospital, prison, or nursing home, or are a child under the age of 5 years old who was in contact with someone with active TB, you may be in the tuberculosis high-risk group. Contact your healthcare provider or the Ministry of Health's Tuberculosis Surveillance Unit immediately at 502-4728 or 502-4803. Tuberculosis is preventable and curable. The clock is ticking. Let's end TB.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
At Master Technicians, we have what your family traditions need, starting with industry-best refrigerators, ranges, and ovens. We also carry Whirlpool washer and dryers, dishwashers and freezers, leading KitchenAid countertop appliances, blenders, microwaves, juicers, kettles, and KitchenAid stand mixers. We even do free delivery in New Providence or to the boat of your choice. Whether you're doing the laundry, creating new memories in the kitchen, or spending family time in front of the television, Master Technicians Limited, keeping family traditions alive for more than 50 years.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
March into your favorite super value and quality supermarkets for super savings like Bashette macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4-ounce box, 2 for $1.50. Rainbow corned beef, 12-ounce can, $1.99. Super value water, 1 gallon, $1.39. Bashette cornflakes, 18-ounce box, $2.49. Whole chicken wings, $1.79 per pound. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays. Super value and quality supermarkets.
Brother Major jump off the boat onto Porter Ski and make a beeline to Sun Isles. Tell Miss Wallace them, I need a battery for this, a battery for that, and a battery for this. You got them? She say, man, you joking? I'll put a battery in you too. Major say, you mean you can still energize this old bunny? She say, man, we'll give you one good overhaul service, lubricate your 21 joules, then jumpstart your lithium battery, man, you'll be good as new. Major say, well, I didn't know you could do all of that. She say, well, of course I can, because that's the kind of me I am.
Sun Isles Watch and Clock, number 112 Montrose Avenue. Watch and clock sales and repairs for over 40 years.
Cancer is smart. It pushes us. We push back, challenging conventional thinking, finding smarter solutions. That's what makes Cancer Treatment Centers of America one of the leaders in precision cancer treatment, using tools like advanced genomic testing and immunotherapy to bring more options to our patients. Cancer Treatment Centers of America. We're not just fighting cancer anymore. We're outsmarting it. Visit cancercenter.com/outsmart to learn more.
This traffic.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9, streaming live on Guardian Talk Radio, smart devices, also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at morningblend969 or facebook.com/morningblend969. Text us 422-4796. And now it's time for another check of your weather for today. We've got weak ridging that continues to build across the islands with mostly pleasant conditions. Your forecast for today calling for mostly sunny and warm conditions with a slight chance of a few light showers, mainly in the southeastern Bahamas, becoming fair and warm tonight. Look for highs getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 64 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius. In your extended outlook, high pressure will continue to build across the islands. So for Thursday, that's going to mean mostly sunny and warm conditions, slight chance of showers. Turning fair and mild tonight, but breezy in the southeast Bahamas. That pattern holding for Friday as well. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. What's first for you comes first for us. And the day 25 time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. We're seeing heavy traffic in your real-time traffic on Eastern Road from west of Fox Hill Road, and west of Sans Souci, actually. You're going to be seeing that heading westbound, heavy traffic there. Prince Charles Drive looking a little bit better for you, but remember that west of Fox Hill Road, there's single-lane traffic as the resurfacing work continues there. That continues throughout the day, so keep that in mind if you're there. If you're in Fox Hill, though, trying to get onto Prince Charles Drive or get further north of Fox Hill Road, you're going to be seeing lots of traffic in the northbound lanes heading towards that intersection with Prince Charles this morning. I have a hot spot for you, Blue Hill Road, just north of Soldier Road. Heavy traffic northbound lanes there. Eastbound on Soldier Road as well, heading towards East Street. Heavy, and Soldier is going to be a mess for you all the way up to past Windsor Place. Windsor Place backed up there, trying to get into Soldier Road this morning. East Street looking busy as well from south of the roundabout with East-West Highway. Independence Drive, not pretty this morning in the westbound lanes. You're going to be looking for an alternate route, perhaps. Robinson Road might be better for you today. Smile Butler Highway, heavy traffic from south of Fire Trail northbound to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. Tonic Williams-Darling Highway busy eastbound on heading towards that roundabout with Sir Milo 2. And at Glaston Road, also heavy traffic northbound for you. The six-legged roundabout, you're going to see traffic in some areas, multiple directions there at this hour. So a very busy morning out there on the streets of New Providence. Keep that in mind if you're heading out now. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank.
Put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique.
And we're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. We are talking with Christopher Russell and Latanya Williams with the Forestry Unit of the Ministry of Environment and Housing. All right, so as we said, it's Forestry Awareness Week. We got a little tease from you before the break. So we've been noticing this. We had the Environment Minister on a few weeks back, and he said there's an investigation underway. But I noticed this. I know they're on Coral Harbor Road. There's a pine forest there. We're told that's some of the last remaining pine forest on New Providence. But noticed a good portion of it had been cleared. And after we asked the minister about it, we noticed that there's signs up now warning people that this is crown land and not to be tampered with, and there are notices in the paper as well. Can you tell us what happened there? This is protected land, is it not?
Well, the land is crown land, and we have remit for the forest on that land. So it is, the species are protected under the law. So that activity was illegal. So we're investigating to find out who was the culprit in terms of who did that. So that's under Crown investigations now.
My goodness. Have you ever seen anything like that before? I mean, how could that just so blatantly happen? What is going on?
Well, we have a significant challenge in this country. You know, the island of New Providence is very small, and there's a lot of pressure for land And so there's a lot of competing land use interests. So the idea is we have to identify appropriate areas of land to protect the natural environment. And so the forest lands are the fastest lands that are being eroded, degraded because of the pressure for expansion and development. And so we have to begin a process of zoning, proper zoning, so everybody knows that certain areas in the islands are zoned for forest or industrial use or residential use and so on. So under our act, the Forestry Act, we have the authority to identify appropriate areas of forest to be protected. And so we're working towards that exercise now as part of a project. So in the meantime, we have advanced an order, which is called the Forestry Declaration of Protected Tree Order, which the minister signed into law a few weeks ago. That is going to be gazetted, where we have increased the list of species of trees to be protected from the original 11 to well over 136 species. So that changes the whole landscape in terms of how we deal with land development and protection going forward.
So you just can't mow down every tree on your land if you're going to start building or something, is that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so there are more controls now, more regulations to ensure that we know what you have on your land and how you can mitigate if there's a need to remove certain species, then there's ways of mitigating that particular activity. So that's what the new order now allows us to do.
Mm-hmm. One more question on what's happening with the forest. So how widespread is the part that is protected under the forestry unit?
Well, we're currently working on identifying appropriate areas on New Providence and the other Pine Islands, in particular under a Pine Island Project initiative. And once the areas are identified, then we will go through a process of having them declared by law under the Act. So that's a process in itself. But on New Providence, like I said, the lands are very limited. So we'll have some representative sample areas of forests that we want to protect in terms of the habitats. So we have noticed that there's been an increase in land clearings in our forest areas. And so we are currently carrying out an exercise of actually mapping those areas to see exactly what is the extent. The challenge we have is that identifying who the culprits are, unless you catch them in the act itself, and you have to build a case, a strong case that you can prosecute someone under the various laws, it is very difficult. When we do patrols, we find the lands are being cleared and we see no one on site. So there's a need for continuous patrols and monitoring to actually identify who these people are in the forest and why are they there. A lot of cases you may find somebody say, oh, I have permission or I have a letter or something, but no proof that they actually have a lease for this land. And I can tell you that the Crown Lands Department will not give somebody a lease to clear forests within the forest if that's not their policy.
Right.
So those persons who are actually clearing lands, they're doing so illegally and indiscriminately.
Now,
and so we have to, yes.
All right. So now when I saw it cleared, I said, oh my goodness, what's happening here? And I mentioned it to some people and they were like, well, we didn't know that's Crown land and protected land. Do you think that's what it is, that people just have forgotten or never knew that this area and that they might have actually seen who was clearing it and just didn't think that it was illegal?
That's a possibility. So there is a need for more stewardship on the part of our agencies in terms of identifying areas of lands that are protected. And so, like I said, in order to protect something, you have to own it, yes? When you own a piece of land, you are more protective of it. So in our case, we are advancing a program that will identify appropriate areas of forest and then have them declared, and then we identify them and publish these areas as being protected. And putting up notice of forest reserve, this is a conservation forest. Similarly, that what you have with the NGOs, for example, the National Trust, they have their national park areas and they have their post signage showing where these areas are. People will then see that. So the same thing will have to apply in the case of our forests. And so we are working on a program now that will actually do that. It's a very tedious exercise, not something that happens overnight because there's a lot of work involved, but we are actually beginning that process.
Right. Wow. We talked about it quite a bit on the show last year when the trees, the casuarina trees were being removed in eastern New Providence. There was a lot of reaction to that, but we know that they are considered an invasive species. What other types of trees do we need to be looking out for as in being invasive, and the types of trees that we need to replace them with?
Well, we know the casuarina is a very popular one. We have also the Brazilian pepper, which is also an invasive, and that is found primarily in areas where you have land degradation. Usually when you clear land and leave the land fallow for a number of years, the first species that comes back usually are the invasives. And these invasives are very prolific in terms of their ability to actually germinate. And then you remove sand from the beaches and you use sand in your construction or road construction, you find that the casuarinas, for example, are the most dominant that comes back and they invade. So these two are the more dominant species. Then you have the Melaleuca, which is found in more wetland areas, which is another invasive species. Then we have there's another one that we use, the almond tree that we get almond from is also becoming an invasive species. It's very dominant. And you also have our famous Poinciana we love with the nice blooming flowers. They're actually they're not native species, but they're very prolific in their regeneration habits as well. So it's important to understand, to appreciate which species of plants and trees are native to the country and which ones are invasive. And we have the
Wait, so hold on. Do you want to remove Poinciana as well? Do you want to cut down?
Well, where they become very aggressive, but usually they're very beautiful along the urban streets and so on.
We got streets named after them.
Yes. So they're planted. In fact, the casuarina species, when it was introduced to the Bahamas, was used for that purpose as well. Mm-hmm. This is why you saw them on some of the major thoroughfares. They were planted there for particular purposes, even on the beaches as well, historically. But now they've become so prolific in their regeneration habits that they have dominated the landscape. Mm-hmm. And they cause more damages, particularly to the sea coastal areas and to roads in particular, where the roots uproot everything. And so once you can appreciate the biology of the plant, how the plant behaves and its regeneration habits, then you're better able to manage it. And what has happened with the casuarina is gotten out of control. And that's what happens when you introduce species that are not native to your landscape. They can eventually take over and dominate.
Well, somebody's asking about this might be a whole other type of show, but why don't we have pine forests in the southern islands or even the central islands? Why are they only the northern islands that we see pine forests on?
It's a very interesting question. It has to do with historical formation of the islands, which islands submerged first above sea level and what time period and what plants moved over first. And so the central and southern islands probably emerged later than the northern islands. And that's why you have a differential. Mm-hmm. And then you have the TCI islands, you have the same pine species there as well. So there's and how the islands came about.
Wow. Another question here about South Andros and the pine forest there. Are we seeing the same threats that we're seeing here in New Providence to those on the other pine islands?
Yes, we have a interesting challenge too in Andros. There's a lot of land degradation in North and Central Andros as well, where there's a lot of land clearing along the main Queens Highway because persons are developing it for their residential purposes and also farming. So without a proper land use planning, where areas are zoned for various activities, you're going to have this sort of activity. So there's a need for more planning in the context of strategic long-range planning to control development. Without proper planning, then you have a lot of chaotic situations, and that's the challenge you see on some of the family islands. Mm-hmm. Of course, we know the Hurricane Dorian impact on Abaco and Grand Bahama significantly changed the landscape there in terms of our pine forest ecosystems, where a lot of the areas, over 100,000 acres between the two islands, were destroyed by Hurricane Dorian. And there's a need for restoration. This is why the theme this year is so timely for forestry, International Day of Forestry, forest restoration, a path to recovery and well-being.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Okay, so what other activities are we seeing for the week? I know you're about halfway through it now, but what else can we expect?
Well, we have more radio appearances like this today, and we were on the television Bahamas at sunrise on Monday. We've had a lot of school visits this week in planting trees and so on, and we had a very interesting panel discussion webinar series yesterday with the University of Bahamas and the students there, where we had some excellent presentations by noted professors in the Bahamas as to the extent of what's going on with the impact of Hurricane Dorian to the pine forest systems, and what are some of the things we can do in terms of restorations. So we'll be continuing our radio appearances for the rest of the week.
Wonderful stuff. And when will we be able to get more of the information that you're talking about? The types of trees that are invasive, the ones that are the areas that are protected. When do you expect we will be able to see that?
The actual protected tree order is being gazetted now. So once that is gazetted, it becomes a public document for the public to see. We'll also be actually putting this list in the newspapers so persons will see exactly which species are now protected. And we'll also provide guidelines for those who wish to, let's say, if necessary, to apply for permission to harvest or relocate protected species. So there's quite an extensive list, and some of our notable trees, you will note, the 4 mangroves now are protected. Before, they were not protected. So the black mangrove, the red mangrove, and the black mangrove and the buttonwood trees are now protected by law. So that's a very significant change in that if you no longer go into our wetlands and fill them in and destroy or remove mangroves, we have to ensure that they're regulated, and you have to have permission to actually go there and do that. You have to have a mitigation strategy as well if you're going to remove mangroves.
Excellent. That's excellent stuff. Before we go, somebody's asking about what to do about a tree that might be protected but is causing a problem for your property. What do we do about that?
What you'll do is that there's an application form. We have the Forestry Regulations 2014. There's an application that makes you apply for harvesting or relocating a protected species. Once you apply, we will go and do an inspection to see what is actually happening there, and we'll make a recommendation as to how you can deal with that challenge, whether you have to remove the plant or there's some way you can work around it. We'll make that determination and we'll issue a permit accordingly with such guidelines.
Okay, and how can they get in contact with you if they need that information?
Well, you can go on the government site and just look at Forestry Regulations 2014, and that will come up and you'll see the form there in the regulations. And you can send it to us via christopherrussell@bahamas.gov.bs. It's my email address.
Okay, wonderful stuff. Christopher Russell, thank you. Didn't get to talk to you much today. Hopefully next time. But great stuff. Always good stuff that you're doing there, the forestry unit. And again, happy Forestry Awareness Week to you all.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
All right. We're going to take a break and be back with more Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Till it's gone, the cave paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam.
So, Gianna, how often have you been flossing? Mm-hmm. Well, you know that's not enough. And are you still working over at the daycare? Okay. How's Franklin? Haven't seen him at the club. Mm-hmm. I see. How are your boys doing? Okay. Sounds good. Now you just tell me if this hurts. Oh boy, that's a doozy. Did I ever tell you about the shark I found in my pool?
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like a dentist that doesn't try to talk to you with your mouth full.
Sounds good.
CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Atlantic Medical Insurance Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Coral Isle Pension Services Bahamas Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Pensions. And Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Get ready! The real March Madness is here! Up to 100% off store-wide at Alive! That's right! Devices, earbuds, tablets, and so much more with crazy slashed prices! Pay close attention to our social media pages. Visit any Alive location or visit BeAlive.com for the best deals on some of your favorite devices and accessories. That's March Madness going on now at Alive. Believe in best.
Imagine. That's where every advancement begins, with an idea that things can be different, better, now. Imagine a world where your entertainment experience was all about you, your style, your show, at your budget. At Rev, that's what we've imagined. To join the conversation and learn more about the future of Rev TV, visit us at rev.bs/imagine.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
RBC and Visa bring you a benefit as unique as you to enjoy Disney Plus. Get 2 months of the all-new Disney Plus streaming subscription on us if you have an RBC Visa Platinum card. Learn more by visiting www.rbc.com/Caribbean/Disney. Reimagine new ways to bank better.
So, Gianna, how often have you been flossing? Well, you know that's not enough. And are you still working over at the daycare? Okay. How's Franklin? Haven't seen him at the club. I see. How are your boys doing? Okay. Sounds good. Now you just tell me if this hurts. Oh boy, that's a doozy. Did I ever tell you about the shark I found in my pool?
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like a dentist that doesn't try to talk to you with your mouth full.
Sounds good.
CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Atlantic Medical Insurance Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Coral Pension Services Bahamas Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Pensions. And Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management, our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are, with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99. And installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
Meet Jackie. Jackie's a hard worker with a steady income, but she has a personal loan and multiple credit cards to pay off. To keep her account current, Jackie opted for a loan from Fidelity Bank to consolidate her debt into one monthly payment and earn interest on a built-in savings account. Be like Jackie. Call 356-7764 to book a complimentary financial coaching session. Fidelity also offers virtual assistance. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now. And I say, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. Cause when I turn to party, the stroke and the got me wet so.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. Chester Robards.
Chester Robards is present.
Kill the music just for you. Wow, look at that. Great to have you still with us. All right, so this morning we are very pleased to be talking with the Lyford Key Foundations. There's always a lot going on there. We're very pleased to have with us Kendra Moss, Karen McCartney, and the new executive director, Dr. Nicola Virgil Roll. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester. How are you? Happy to be here in this new role.
Good morning, everyone.
We are doing well. Doing well. Nicola, I was saving a joke that the next time you were on, I was going to say the first thing, well, here to tell us all the secrets about the place she used to be. Anyway, but no, we're not going to do that. It's not. We don't have enough time for those jokes today. But anyway, great to have you with us. For those who might not be familiar, Tell us a little bit about the Life for Key Foundations.
This is a wonderful Bahamian tradition. The Life of Key Foundations is celebrating 52 years of existence. You've been in the Bahamas now from the late 1960s, and it's an organization which really started out as a grants-making organization and has morphed now into some very important roles in terms of really being the leading educational philanthropic organization in the Bahamas. And so many people now know us for our scholarships, and we have over the years now sponsored just over 3,000 Bahamians in terms of providing tertiary level scholarships over the years. We also have other programs. So we continue to have our grants programs where we have provided small grants to 250 Bahamian nonprofits. And also one program we would like to talk a lot about today, which Kendra and Karen run, is the Focus program. And that's a youth enrichment program that's been in existence since, I think, 2011. And it has really sponsored about 270 young people. We recruit them in from grade 5. They start the program, and it's an 8-year commitment to them. And in order to ensure and work with them to give them a better chance of moving on to college. And so we've had good success rates with that. I'm so proud of the program. Our first graduating class was last year, 2019, and we had a 78% success rate in terms of those young people moving into tertiary level education. And I just say, imagine if this was replicated throughout the whole country, imagine the impact there. And so, that's an important program that Kendra and Karen will speak about. We also have the Kutias Scholars Program, which is, we support 11 students there, and it's aimed at really looking at post-secondary education at both BTVI and UB, and more at the technical side as well. All of these programs really join together to provide tremendous impact in terms of educational opportunities for young people in Bahamas in order to really bring the necessary changes and upliftment to the country.
That's amazing stuff. All right, so before we get to the Focus program, at this time with the year that we had, how has that impacted scholarships for folks who are interested in going off to school? What's changed? What do people need to keep in mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's also the mode of how you learn. So, the Life of Key throughout this 2 difficult years, 2019 with Dorian and then 2020 with COVID, has continued its work. So we've had to change a little bit in terms of our focus with grants. And you'd see that we've supported, for example, the Central Abaco Primary School. And so we've provided a very large grant in terms of helping to rebuild that school. And we've not just rebuilt the school in Abaco, but we have worked to rebuild it better. So it's now a hurricane shelter. So it's built to a different standard and can serve as a hurricane shelter for the community. So, the Life Key Foundations, of course, we're focused on educational philanthropy, but we can't ignore community needs. And so as Dorian came in, we had to shift focus and make sure that we dealt with things that were necessary at the time. And so that continues to go along. We are also been working with feeding programs as well. And so through working with other partners, the Salvation Army and others, been able to support families in terms of feeding programs. We've also partnered with the Ministry of Education in terms of distributing laptops and equipment for students in Abaco so that they can continue virtual learning. And so there's been quite a bit there to transform how we do things. In our Focus program as well, we have had to transform. It's normally a face-to-face, very much a hands-on, very much project-based program in normal years, and we hope to get back to that shortly. But we've had to switch to virtual now and making sure that our students As I said, there's over 240 students, making sure that they had access to tablets, access also to internet. So we provided MiFi devices for them as well, so that they can, be able to communicate with us when we have our sessions with them. And so we've not skipped a beat, even though we've had to change our mode of operation.
Wow, that is something else there. Okay, so let's talk about the Focus program. Karen and Kendra, tell us all about it from the beginning to now, how it's been working and how it has been benefiting students.
Okay, good morning, and thank you again for having us. As Dr. Nicola Rowe would have said, Focus began in 2011, and it really came about as we did research to find out what are the needs in the community. And it was determined that we needed a program based on what we've seen as from our scholarship programs, that a lot of the inner schools were not applying to Life Key Foundations for scholarships, which became a concern for us. So we decided to have a pilot program where we would ensure that kids that are interested in graduating high school and pursuing college to join the program. It's an 8-year-long program, as she would have mentioned. We recruit them at the end of their grade 4-year-long program. FOCUS is an acronym that stands for Forward, Onward to College, Upward to Success. So that is the mission of the program, is to ensure that these kids are acclimated with things related to college, and that at the end of the 8-year program, that they are equipped to access college.
All right. So what are some of the things that you realize that people need to know more of as a result of the program? What's been lacking, and how does the program help them get there?
So essentially, Dwight, it's just information, right? So traditionally, when we look at the students that we do serve, they're coming from underserved communities. So we try to provide them with support that's needed. We try to move some of the barriers that often prohibit success. So for example, you would have an issue with getting to school because you may not have bus fare, right? So we remove that barrier. We provide transportation for our students. Kids may not go to school because they don't have a meal, or money to buy food. So we remove that barrier and we provide meals for our students. And so some of the barriers that often limit or prohibit students from success, we try to remove some of those barriers. And just general information. So these are students who are going to be the first in their family to go to college. And so the general idea of what college is about, what you need for college, is not necessarily being spoken about in their homes. We also try to provide them with access to information about different careers. Again, not necessarily have access to. So we know that kids traditionally, they see teachers, they see doctors, they see lawyers, they see police officers. Do they see engineers? Probably not. Do they know what, anything in environment is about? Probably not. We're looking now at STEM. And how we can improve, access to that information. So we're trying to give those students information that they would normally not have access to. And then, of course, in an environment that they're comfortable, that they feel safe, that they're free to talk and ask questions, and essentially just be children, and comfortable with saying that, you know what, I'm not going to go the traditional route. This is what I want to do, despite the circumstances that I may be in at this moment. And our parents have been just as supportive of the program.
Why did you find it was important? Hi, Karen.
I just.
Why did you find it was important to run a 8-year-long program?
Well, essentially, it was based on research, right? So high school was too late, just as junior school. So essentially, we're creating a culture. So the earlier we get them, the more time we have to essentially develop some ideas and Sorry, as I start over this. Essentially, we're trying to invest in them earlier. So the sooner you can get your students thinking about college, the higher the success rate, which is why we've seen the successes that we've seen.
No, I guess that answers this question. We've got a lot of people texting to say, what if they didn't know about it? Is it too late? If you're in 5th grade? What if you missed school because of COVID? Can I join in the 10th grade? Oh, boy.
No. So essentially, the only time that we recruit for the Focus program is at the end of their 4th grade year, and we only recruit from 6 schools in the Western School District. So those 6 schools are Eva Hilton, Aubrey Sale, Stephen Dillett, Woodcock Primary, Gambia Primary, and TG Glover. And we've actually just completed the recruitment process for it as well. And typically we have over 100 students applying each year for 36 spots.
Wow.
And it's 18 girls and 18 boys that we recruit each year for the Focus program. So if your child is in another grade or attending any school that's not one of the schools that I just named, unfortunately, they do not qualify for the Focus program.
Any plans to expand
Just
it
wanted
to?
to chime in on that. We do have one last application session that is tonight at 6 p.m. at TG Glover. So we would encourage parents whose students are in grade 4 at the schools that Karen would have mentioned, and I'll just go over them again. TG Glover, Eva Hilton, Woodcock Primary, Gambia Primary, Stephen Dillett, and Aubrey Sale. This is their final opportunity to apply for the program. And so we hope to see as many of them tonight at 6 o'clock at TG Glover Primary School.
Any plans to expand to the eastern side of the island and maybe beyond New Providence at any point?
This is a question that's been asked so many times. And right now, the short answer is no. Because, of course, to run a program like this requires funding. We want to make sure that whenever we do decide if we can do it, that it's done well. Because, again, I talked about all the things that we do for these students, and it costs a lot of money to run a program such as this. When we originally started, that was the idea, that this was going to be a pilot program and then move from the Northwestern School District into other schools. It became an issue. We also had planned to start with 30 students, which we did. In our second year, we took in 40 students, and in our third year, we took in 50 students. And the plan was to take 50 students in every year after that. The 50 students made us quickly realize that was not the most effective way to deliver the program. And so we arrived at the sweet number of 36. A program like this is very involved, very labor intensive. And so if it is to be done in other school districts, we have to make sure that we do it properly and we have the funding to get it done.
So that's where the foundation's leadership come in, and certainly we are always looking for opportunities to fundraise for programs like this, to think about the future in terms of expanding going forward. And so over the next few months, we'll certainly be looking at ways in the future that we can think about, moving the program forward and really demonstrating the impact of this program to the various donors that we have as well. But certainly the statistics that we program itself, the excitement from the children. I was able to participate in one of the sessions in terms of, we have some Saturday sessions and even online. Imagine, kids so excited about learning on a Saturday. So there's 2 back-to-back Saturdays coming up now for the children, the students in the program. And people are just excited about learning, about this extra support that they are getting. We provide access to various computer programs like IXL and other learning technologies for the students so that they have this access to additional support. And so I think that, it's something that's certainly will keep on the radar to think about how we expand. But of course, we have to look at the practicalities around that. And as Karen mentioned, always delivering a superb product. We have to make sure that whatever we do, however we expand, quality remains in order to see our results even get better and better over time.
Yeah. I know we've featured the Focus program before. We've had some students on it, and they were amazing. Amazing. We'd love to have some others back to talk about it so that people can really see just what impact it's having on them. And I encourage you to keep up the great work that you're doing. Give us some contact information if people want to sign up for the session that you're talking about for tonight, and for more information in general about the Life for Key Foundations.
Okay, so you can contact the Focus office. The number here is 225-8958. That's 225-8958. Or you can reach out to the Life for Key Foundation's office at 3610-362-4910. Again, the final application session will be held tonight at T.G. Glover Primary School at 6:00 p.m.
All right, wonderful stuff. Kendra Moss, Karen McCartney, and Dr. Nicola Virgil. Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back with Morning Blend Business. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is the Guardian News Network update on the hour. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Health Minister Renward Wells anticipates this country will reach herd immunity against COVID-19 by this summer. Given our nearly 9,000 confirmed positive COVID cases, Wells said many Bahamians have already been exposed to the virus and the COVID vaccination program is underway. Health officials estimate more than 1,500 people have already been vaccinated. Experts estimate that roughly 70% of a country's population would have to be immune to COVID to reach herd immunity. National Security Minister Marvin Dames says he was not aware that the leaders of the Democratic National Alliance were going to be arrested before they were taken into police custody. While he conceded the 3-week timeline between the alleged offense in that case and the arrest was unusual, Dames argued officers had to compile the file. DNA leader Rinthia Komalafi and 8 others remain under investigation, accused of unlawful assembly and contest in Parliament Square. And dismissing what he called malicious social media claims that he is unwell, Governor General Sir Cornelius Smith says that he feels extremely well. The 83-year-old and his wife received the COVID vaccine last Thursday, and yesterday he encouraged all Bahamians to take the vaccine, as he said it is the one way of helping us to prevent the spread of the virus and also help us to open our economy so that people can get back to work. That's what's making headlines at this hour. Stay with us. AP Update is next.
This traffic report brought to you by Shield Insurance.
Over the last 30 minutes, the island looked like a traffic maze with heavy flows emanating from everywhere. Gladstone Road and some Alabama highway routes remain challenged. Those heavy flows that come through there get hung up at the exit and get hooked up into that slow crawl getting out of there. Though the traffic level is lower at Carmichael Road and the exit Blue Hill Road, if you're in line there, it's not as bad as the other 2 exits. You still got a gradual ride out of there, and getting over the hill at Blue Hill, exiting into the Tongues Million Darling roundabout below, well, that's still a challenge. East Street traffic in the south is a heavy rush to get out there. It's clogging after you cross over Soldier Road and slowing your ride right down into the roundabout ahead at Independence Drive. And then Independence Drive itself really slows down during the morning commute. Getting out on the west end into the roundabout at Blue Hill and on the east end is just as slow getting out there onto East Street into that roundabout there as well. Inner City Wolf Road and the surrounding corridors just building for today's routine, so not heavily crowded as yet. Folks finally getting out of Bernard Road there onto that Wolf Road and Soldier Road intersection. And then that Soldier Road intersection, that area is just building for its normal daily routine. We've got heavy one-lane traffic from as far back as Fox Hill Road, still coming out of the Eastern Road. It's really hung up over there. On the exit, we've got a gradual decrease heading into Shirley Street. But we know that within minutes, most of your traffic and the commute around the island, those traffic jams all would have dissipated. few road diversions you need to be concerned about today. There's some road works underway across the island and some detours that you need to be on the lookout for. This National Traffic Report is a service of Arawak Homes, your one-stop shop to build a new home or property. Find Arawak Homes at their Shirley Street location, Carmichael Road, or at 1 JFK. Book an appointment with a home consultant today at 502-6500 or email them at ownit@arawakhomes.com. With your Ryan Scanner look at traffic in real time, I'm PANN.
Hello, sir. Your credit card bill is due. Hello, sir. It's time for your monthly loan payment. Tired of creditors pounding at your door? Sign up for a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank and consolidate your debt into one low monthly payment. What's more, you will also earn interest on a built-in savings account. The pandemic has curbed many freedoms, but at Fidelity, our focus is to help regain your financial freedom. Visit a branch or speak to Fidelity Bank at 356-7764. COVID safety measures in place at all branches. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and drunk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Chester Robards still with us this morning. Is that right, Chester Robards?
That's correct.
Okay, wonderful stuff. And we have another exciting show for you. It's our twice monthly segment with the Access Accelerator, the Small Business Development Center, and profiling some of the success stories of the companies they have helped. And we are looking forward to meeting them this morning. Ripter Company and KB Bakery. We're going to talk with them this morning. Looking forward to it. This is the downside of COVID, because had this right, we would have had them in studio, and this would have been a much better morning than what we're having today. But oh well, soon enough. Before we get to that, though, it is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. In your morning business report, things are geared up and ready to go ahead of tomorrow's long-awaited reopening of the Lighthouse Point Hotel at the Grand Lucine Resort in Freeport in Grand Bahama. Michael Scott QC, the chairman of the Lucine Renewal Holdings Company, the government's special purpose vehicle that owns the resort, he's saying that he doesn't anticipate any further issues with opening the property, which closed shortly after the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic amid the implementation of global travel restrictions. Scott telling Guardian Business yesterday that they're primed and ready to go and that their new recruits have been through orientation and that they're, quote, ready to rock and roll. Scott confirming earlier this month that between 50 and 60 employees will be engaged for this first phase of reopening. Bookings are expected to be low, though. Scott says employees are prepared to welcome the guests. Some guests, in any event. Former Minister of State for Finance Zhivargo Lang says he's stunned by Attorney General Carl Bethel's claim that the Bahamas dollar was at risk of being devalued, extensively borrow U.S. currency. Lang, who's the host of Guardian Radio's own Z Live, said it would be big news if the country's dollar peg was at threat at the Central Bank of the Bahamas or any other international financial monitoring agency, and that they didn't take note of it. Last week in the Senate, Bethel claimed that the government had to make the tough choices to borrow more than $400 million in U.S. dollars to avoid the peril of devaluation. Bethel said the government had to choose between borrowing in U.S. dollars in order to support the currency peg or allow the Bahamian dollar to be devalued or to devalue. Lang said he doesn't believe that's true. You can read more about his comments, if you didn't hear them already, here on Guardian Radio in today's Guardian Business section. And while there may still be fewer visitors traveling to the Bahamas compared to previous years, new data reveals that those who are arriving are spending a longer time in the country. On average, visitors are spending at least a day longer, according to new research on travel trends compiled by booking analytics company Forward Keys. The data shows that tickets from the United States issued in January and February were for a 6.3-day stay compared to the 5.3-day length on average reported during the same period in 2019, when travel was at its peak here in the Bahamas. The Bahamas is ranked in the top 8 Caribbean destinations that have seen an increase in the average length of stay of visitors. Market research manager at Forward Keys, Louise Milian, saying if you look at countries that have made the top 8 in terms of longer stays, it's reassuring to see popular hotspots like the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas and Aruba still faring well. Overseas, the European Union is moving towards stricter export controls to ensure that there are more. Should boost its flagging vaccine drive at a time of another surge of the coronavirus pandemic on the continent. The EU's executive body saying today, on the eve of a summit of 27 leaders, that it has a plan ready to guarantee that more vaccines produced in the bloc are available for its own citizens before they can be shipped for exports. EU nations have been specifically stung by the United Kingdom, which has received some 10 million doses from the EU plants, while they say nothing came back from Britain. The EU now insists on reciprocity as it sees vaccination rates in Britain racing upwards, while the bloc proceeds at a crawl. The EU has specifically irked by Anglo-Swedish company AstraZeneca. Last week, the European Union's chief executive warned that the EU would not hesitate to take action against third-party nations. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday. Your market movers, AML Foods Limited moving 2,000 shares, closing unchanged at $4.75. Colina Holdings moving 1,206, up 17 cents, closing at $5.67. Commonwealth Bank moving 2,000, down 5 cents to $2.75. Consolidated Water Incorporated down 1 cent to $11.01. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 1,906.76, down 4.68. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And this is Morning Blend Business. When we come back, we are getting more of the success stories with the Access Accelerator right here on your home for fresh news, smart talk all day, Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. Support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details. Or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Wait, you know what going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you want?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next?
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I avoid?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Croc Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the call go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
When I'm walking down them rocky, narrow dirt roads, with a basket of potatoes on my head. Oh, don't you worry, I come from down home, and then folks bake their potato bread. They bake it down home, outside in the Dutch oven down home, wrapped in banana leaf down home.
Okay, we're back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Chester Robards, and we are this morning talking with the Access Accelerator. It's our twice monthly series as we talk about the programs and how it's helping so many entrepreneurs and small businesses, small and medium-sized enterprises. We are very pleased to have back with us Winston Roll. He's a Strategic Initiatives and Special Projects Manager. And also back with us, Head of Advisory, Phyllis Bethel. Great to have you both back with us this morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Felice.
Good morning.
There you go. I think you had it.
Yes.
Great. Oh, Zoom, special Zoom. Anyway, great to have you both back with us this morning. And then we're going to meet some special reps this morning, the companies that are really disappointed that we didn't have them in the studio with us this morning.
Yeah, Dwight, you would have had a room full of baked goods and beer this morning.
My goodness, that is the best way to start the day. But we're going to invite them back as soon as we get over this hurdle with this pandemic, and we're going to have Christine Albury with Riptide Bahamian Craft Beer and Kim Bodie with KB Bakery. Good morning, ladies. Great to have you with us. I think Dexter is going to be with us as well. Dexter Bodie. Yep. Okay. Great stuff. All right, so let's begin. Winston and Felice, let's talk about this for those who might not be familiar, who haven't been listening and are just hearing about this for the first time. I don't know where they've been, but we've been featuring companies on the show. But tell us about the Access Accelerator funding process and how beneficial it has been to small and medium-sized enterprises so far.
Okay, so I'll just start by saying what we talked about last week was pretty much the training and advisory step of the process.
Okay. Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. I don't know what that was, but go on.
Okay. So, yes. So, what we talked about last time was the training and advisory step of the process. So, once an entrepreneur approaches us for funding, first we take them through a training process just so that they understand what being an entrepreneur involves. We help them develop their business plan. We also assign them to an advisor who will help them to flesh out the business plan, make sure that it's solid, and then we move on to the vetting process. And so the vetting process happens just before the funding step. And this is simply where the entrepreneurs will submit mandatory documents like their finalized business plan, their business license, historical financial statements. If it's an existing business, personal statement of affairs, passport photo page, driver's license, NIB card, and for proof of address, it's either voter's card or utility bill. And then once those documents are received, then the entrepreneurs go to our credit committee, which we described as basically a Shark Tank experience. And then we move on to the funding process. Once all the documents have been received, the entrepreneur has pitched the idea to the credit committee approves the business plan. Now we can talk about funding. So under our 3 funding options available, including grants, loans, and equity. Now, many people know about the different grants that we offer. And, you have the standalone grant, over the hill grant, preschool grant, fishing and farming grant, technical grant, youth grant, soon to come on stream, shared economy grant, orange economy grant, and manufacturing grant. And obviously we don't have the time to go through all of these grant programs, but if you want to find out information, you can check out our website, accessaccelerator.org, or you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook for constant updates. Vincent, is there anything you want to introduce?
I was just saying, you just covered everything, Felice. You did an excellent job.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have a question. So you mentioned the equity stakes. How many companies have you taken equity stakes in? How widespread is that one?
Okay, so most clients we find are not interested in sharing the ownership of their business, and we don't. Access Accelerator does not have any equity stake in any of the funded companies. So there's a private equity company that if they like the business idea, then they may invest in some of these small businesses. So far, we've had about 6 clients who've taken the equity option, but in terms of preference, most clients have opted for grants and loans.
And Dwight, if I may just inject there, what some companies have to come to grips with and why you'd want to consider equity as an option is your business idea and concept generates cash flow from the onset, and it may need some time for it to mature before it can generate cash flow. Obviously, a loan environment where you're having to meet a monthly obligation is not the best arrangement. And so having an equity partner obviously helps because that removes that factor. The other part of it is when you have an equity partner, you, by extension, have a mentor, you have a sales team, because anybody that has an interest in your business is going to do whatever they can to make sure that that business is successful.
Right. Yeah, we hear that all the time. People say you go to this place so often, you must have shares in it, right? So that's it there. So when you explain it that way, do people say, "Okay, well, I'll take the chance," or are you still seeing the apprehension?
It's a lot of it is education. Some persons are more inclined to consider it after that kind of a conversation. The other thing too is our equity arrangements does afford a company the ability to buy their investor out at some point in the future. The thing, of course, that people have to realize is when I start this company and I get an investor in, the company is worth X. In 5, 6, 10 years' time, when it's worth Y, I can't expect to pay the investor X. I need to pay the investor Y to get them out of the company.
Okay. Wow. All right. So, as we said, we're very excited. You have some businesses with us this morning. Riptide Bahamian Craft Beer is here. Christine Albury, great to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I just want to thank you, Dwight, for having Riptide on your morning show. That means a lot to us.
Oh, it's
we
wonderful.
Thank you.
Great having you here with us. You probably don't know this, but I'm quite a beer connoisseur. So
I'm sorry we can't all be sharing in a pint of Riptide, but on another time.
Another time, we'll hold you to that. All right. So tell us about the company, how you got started, and from the others out there.
Well, we are a small batch brewery, and it's great. It allows us to play with flavors. We started 7 years ago brewing as a hobby, and we realized that we had tried to put our beer out in the market and do test runs to see if it was something that could be turned into a business. And we all actually started when my business partner just basically wanted to learn how to brew beer. And we got started. We enjoyed the process. We came up with some good brew. And then there was a point that we said, could we turn this passion project into a business? And that's how it all started.
Oh, wow. So how did the Access Accelerator help you with that?
Well, since we had been testing the market for almost 3 years, we decided that we were going to take the leap of faith when we found out about the SBDC and the funding opportunities. So we basically formulated our business plan from the fall of 2018. It was a long process. It lasted up until July of 2019. We were always finding different locations, figuring out what would work for us, just being a brewery, a tap room, or both. So our business plan was constantly morphing at that time, depending on what location we were seeking out. We found a location that we were thrilled with, we were solid with, and we pursued that. And we worked with the SBDC at length to see if this could be a possibility. And we're amazing.
Tell us more about that. How did they help?
Okay, so when we put our business plan together, which we thought our business plan was, we went into some sort of training, as they mentioned, and mentoring, and we realized quite quickly that what we thought were our expenses to open this brewery were far from the truth.
Oh, wow.
So they enlightened us on digging deeper and understanding the costs behind opening a business, and just many different factors, but primarily it was the cost. And also I have to say the forecasting of growth and opening your eyes to that. And why do you think, how can you substantiate what you think your growth is going to be? It's all numbers. You almost have to take your emotions out of everything and understand the numbers.
And how has the pandemic changed things for you and those outlooks?
Well, it was completely contrary to what we had decided on, what our actual business model actually even was. We have pushed through. We have started almost from scratch with basically a new plan to go around COVID, but we persevered. We put the time in. We did the work. We understood what we needed to do to survive. And we communicated with the SBDC. They communicated back with us. They assisted us with deferrals at the bank, with a grant. And we came out, I have to say, stronger than ever. And we've now, through our hard work and perseverance, have established ourselves in the community, and we're very excited.
That's wonderful stuff. All right, so tell us more about the products, where you're located, where we can find your products, and what we can expect over the next few months going forward.
Okay, so we are located on the northeast corner of Daswell and Armstrong Street. We are in a blue and white building with mermaid mural painted on the side of the building. Inside, you can find an old Bahamian vibe going on. Lots of surprises to see inside. And we have 5 different styles of beer right now. We have a German Pilsner, an India Pale Ale, an English Pale Ale, a Porter, and a Wheat. And they're all delicious. And we love to infuse our local Bahamian flavors into our full flavored beer. And we can't wait for persons who have not heard about us or have heard about us and have been just, holding back a little bit because of COVID to please come by the tap room and enjoy a fresh craft Bahamian beer.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be worth your while.
You're open now with the social protocols in place, or what's...
We are, yes, we are open. We're open from Tuesdays through Sundays. We have a great beer garden in the backyard, and it's a very chill environment. You can join with your friends. You can bring your dog, sit back in the beer garden, and enjoy a craft beer, a Riptide craft beer.
That sounds wonderful.
I can attest to how great the beer tastes, by the way.
Yeah.
That's great.
Which one did you have, Chester?
I think I had the Pilsner.
Okay.
Yeah. You talked about Bahamian flavors. What were we talking about there? What types of flavors were we?
Well, last summer we started off with a bang with a mango Pilsner, and we have also infused a little lime in our EPA Bahamian lime. We are going to be doing we also do a watermelon Pilsner, which is delicious, and we are going to be doing a pineapple infused beer when pineapple season is in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always playing around with flavors, and but I have to say the star of our show is our porter, our loose scope porter, and it is enjoyed by all.
It sounds amazing. My mouth is watering. So I'm familiar with the different flavors for beers, but there are a lot of Bahamians who are stuck in their ways and cringe when they hear these things. What do you say to them to convince them they at least need to take a sip?
Well, the beer is fresh and full flavored. And so for those persons who are weary of trying a craft beer and they're really, they enjoy their lager, we invite them to come to the tap room and try a flight of our beer, which are 4 or 5 ounce pours, or you can be really aggressive and go for the double flight, which is all the flavors. And that allows them to sip on the beer, look at the different colors, look at the different, or taste the different flavors and realize, wow, what have they been missing? So it's amazing. It's amazing. And we do have a lot of apprehensive persons, and they come out and become a return customer. Mm-hmm. So that is very encouraging.
Yeah.
Something I'd like to add to Christine, I'm not a beer drinker, but for people who just want to experience something new, here you have an opportunity to go inside the brewery and you can watch the beer making process. Also, Christine has an old boat that she restored inside the brewery. There's just a whole lot of history and things that you can learn about. So it's not just the beer drinking, but it's also the environment that you get to experience.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you so much for highlighting that, Phyllis. When we went to open the brewery, we also wanted to open a tap room that would be inviting and want to make our customers stay. So we decorated it in a very old Bahamian vibe. So when you go in there, you'll see a broken down sloop recreated into a bar, and it's such a conversation piece, and it's beautiful, even in its state. On the walls are an old Bahamian postcard collection. We have long communal tables made of beautiful wood, live edge wood, for persons just to sit and chat and maybe make a friend with the person that they're sitting next to that they've never met. At the same time, you can look through the glass and see the brewery. It doesn't get more transparent than that.
Give us those hours again.
Okay, so it's Tuesday through Sunday. We're open Tuesdays and Thursdays until 6 p.m. We have an amazing Cigars Under the Stars on Wednesday evenings. We have a food truck with that, and that's until 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, we have food trucks as well, and we're open until 8, and then Sunday from 1 to 6.
Okay, wonderful
But
stuff.
it's a family environment. We have more than just beer there. We have water and juices. It's a family environment. You can bring your dog. I mean, we're open to give you a taste of a real Bahamian craft beer.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you come up with the name? Riptide is TY''D. How'd you come up with that?
Well, my husband, he used to brew. He's since passed away. His name was Tyrone. And my business partner and I wanted to do a nautical theme. And we wanted to incorporate his name so it would be Tide. And we weren't sure. We went through so many iterations of different ebb tide, riptide, and so on. And we stuck with Riptide. Okay. And it's a fun name. It's catchy, and it really encompasses everything that we're trying to be.
It's a beautiful story. Christine, stick around with us. We're going to take a break and come back with more. We're going to talk with KB Bakery as well. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Woke up early one morning to the rising sun. It's bonefish season and they on the run. I gotta find bonefish fully to catch me some. See, when it comes to bone fishing, he's number one. He's bonefish foley. He's so meek and lowly. Bonefish foley. He's the one and only.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details, or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details, or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we've got your final look at weather for today. We've got weak ridging that continues to build across the islands, producing mainly pleasant conditions, and that's going to hold for the next few days. For all areas today, your forecast calls for mostly sunny and warm conditions with a chance for a few light showers, mainly in the southeastern Bahamas, becoming fair and warm tonight. It is about 78 degrees right now in Nassau. Look for highs getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 64 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that high pressure ridge will continue to build across the islands. So for Thursday and Friday, look for mostly sunny and hot conditions with just a slight chance of brief passing showers, becoming fair and mild at night, breezy in the southeast and central Bahamas. That's your morning blend weather check.
From its statements, I'm afraid. Tried to look around and smile. Said I'm frozen, don't have much time. Purification and realization.
Welcome back to Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strachan with Chester Robards. It's an Access Accelerator Wednesday here. We're talking with companies that have benefited from the program and from the Small Business Development Center. From the SBDC, we have Winston Roll and Felice Bethel. And we've been talking with Christine Aubrey with Riptide, Bahamian Craft Beer. Now we're meeting Kim and Dexter Bodie with KB Bakery and Deli. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to the representatives of SBDC. Good morning, Bahamas.
All right, this is, oh boy, we wish you were in studio this morning as well, as we said the same thing to Christine. That would have been a great combo there. But tell us about KB.
Good morning, Christine. Very interesting interview. Good morning. Good morning. Good luck.
All right, so tell us about KB Bakery, and I'm looking at your Facebook page, and I'm guessing you all were launching just before the pandemic hit. Is that right?
Well, Dwight, we're about to launch at a different location, at our storefront location.
Okay.
But for some 30 plus years, we have been operating a cottage business.
Oh, wow, nice. Okay. Now, tell us about that, how it's been, and why did you decide that you wanted to have a storefront location?
Well, when you're operating a cottage business, you're operating from your home. And so, I think it's about time for us to take that quantum leap and to move into a storefront now that we have developed to a point where we have a very good clientele, and we have a number of other persons, constantly asking us when they purchase our items, when are you going to move in a store? And a plus, what is a plus is that my husband, who is in the business with me, inherited a building from his father. And so we decided that would be a good location in the Grove area to place our storefront.
Okay, excellent. So I guess this is what led you to the Access Accelerator, to the SBDC.
Yes, most certainly. I'm an avid listener to the radio, to the news, and by way of announcements, I've heard about the SBC and the Access Accelerator and the programs that they provide to small business persons such as myself. And so I say, hey, why not take advantage of the opportunity?
All right, so tell us about that journey, how that went. Give us all the details.
Okay, we heard about a 6 weeks course to assist us with our business plan. However, prior to that, we had already started to make inroads into preparing a plan of our own. So participating in the 6 weeks program was most beneficial because wherever we needed to fine-tune our plan, we were able to do that with assistance from experts in the financial services sector, persons such as Mr. Russell, who's an accountant, our advisors who were assigned to us to kind of guide us through the plan that we had already put together. And trust me, my eyes and my son participated in the program, Mr. Destabodi. He participated in the program along with me, and our eyes were open to the details. Even though we had a pretty good business plan, we had missed out some very pertinent details, particularly as it relates to being able to access additional funding to take us to the conclusion of our project.
Yep. What were some of those? What didn't you think about it, and what did they open your eyes to?
Well, particularly the fact that, when I was operating from home, it was, like a mom and pop shop. But when you are venturing into a storefront, you have to have certain things in place. You have to know how to manage your business. You understand? You have to be able to connect with your bankers. You have to have your business license. You have to be able to market your product. So those are some of the things that we were able to learn. and much more. Too many to mention at this particular time.
I'm sure. All right. So what did the pandemic do? What impact did it have? Did it delay the storefront opening?
Somewhat. Because when we joined the participated in the class, it was, I think we ended somewhere around February, and just shortly after the pandemic came upon us in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And so that slowed down, access to them, particularly as everybody had changed their whole operation apparatus and persons were operating from home. Nonetheless, we still heard from them from time to time as to how we were coming on. And of course, we were waiting to get our final approval for the grant, as well as the loan attached to the grant. So we were able to access a grant and a loan.
Dwight, I can also say
to go along with the investment that we also, and I think for small business persons, it would be good to note that you should have a little something in your kitty to help you along. And so we were able to invest some of our own funds. And of course, what we received from SBDC was a blessing that carried us along to the point where we are 95% ready to open our storefront. We're just waiting on
I was going to say, Dwight, that
Ministry of Works and stuff like that.
I was going to say the same thing that she said, that they had already invested quite a bit in their business. But the other part of it is that during the pandemic, because they were working from home, that did not stop them from baking and selling. And so they still had a vibrant delivery business as well as a collection business that they continued to generate revenue during the pandemic.
Excellent stuff. All right. Tell us about the products, Kim. Tell us about what you specialize in and what are the hot ticket items, the hot sellers.
We specialize in breads, rolls. We make the hot items are our guava danishes. Bahamians love their guava, their fruits, their native fruits. And so we offer guava danishes, pineapple danishes, coconut danishes, coconut tarts. We can't sell enough of the coconut tarts. So those are some of our specialty items. Zucchini bread. Everywhere I go, no matter where I am, persons are saying, do you have any zucchini bread? So that's one of our hot items.
Nice.
We also make guava duff. So there are, our business is called KB Bakery and Deli. So I also, for some years, operated a catering business. So, we're going to be providing hot breakfast in the morning in that particular area. Things like stew fish, Johnny cake, sauce, those kinds of things we will be operating. When we operate from our storefront, we'll be providing to the public.
Wow. Again, tell us where the storefront is going to be. Where is that location?
The storefront location is Western Avenue off Blue Hill Road. That's one of the corners opposite National Insurance.
All right. So when you
and we are happy to be back in that community. That's where my husband grew up as a young boy, and we also learned that there might be some zoning in that area that would also benefit us if we were, bringing in, equipment because of. We needed to bring in more equipment to run a storefront. So we benefited greatly. That's one of the things that I learned from the program is that I was able to get exemptions to bring in things, like heavy duty equipment that I needed for the bakery.
I guess that's the Over the Hill initiative then. Yes.
The Over the Hill initiative. You are right.
Wonderful stuff.
I went to say the white paper, but I wasn't quite sure.
Okay. All right. So when you do that, are you going to still do the cottage industry side of it? Are you going to still be doing stuff from home, or are you going to mainly focus on the storefront?
No, we want to. That was my goal. Mm-hmm. My main intention was to move out of here to get into the community. Mm-hmm. I think that we could amass more wealth. We can. One of the things that I want to do, Dwight, when we open, is to invite persons from the University of Bahamas and offer an apprenticeship program to young persons, because we're not too far away from the University of Bahamas. And I've always been in the area of training in my other life. So I would like to offer an apprenticeship opportunity for persons in the culinary art and pastry making, have them work in the store with us.
Excellent. That was going to be one of my questions. How many people are on your staff? How many people will you need on your staff? And Christine, I want to ask you that as well. We'll get to you in a second. But
we are looking at, it's my husband and I, but we're looking at adding an additional 4 to 6 persons on staff.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. And Christine, what about you? How many do you have on staff?
You mean how many hats do I wear?
Okay. Is it all you?
No, it's not by any means, but I do wear a lot of hats. It's myself, and I have an amazing business partner who is behind the scenes, who helps with a great deal of the business planning and development. And then I have another amazing guy at the brewery who's the cellarman. He assists me in brewing, dealing with the cellaring, and working in the tap room. And we also have 2 part-time employees.
Okay. Wow. That's excellent stuff. All right. So Kim, I can imagine things are going to get busy for you with Easter coming up.
Well, I'm getting ready for the hot cross buns, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we are adding to our hot cross buns this year, by popular demand from our customers, is to include in our buns guava and coconut.
Oh my!
Last week we had a customer who came up and asked us if we would try the guava tarts, and she kept coming back. So we decided that we would put it on the menu and we would provide it. And I can tell you, this morning we made extra guava tarts. And what we did was we are going to put make our tarts a foot long. So we get half guava and half coconut.
Wow.
And thanks to my husband, I must say, thanks to my husband, who has been my business partner for all of our married life, 41 years. He is the one who's doing most of the baking now.
Is that right?
And I'd also like to mention, yes, my husband, Dexter Bodie Sr. Mm-hmm. And my Dexter Bodie Jr. is the businessman. He's the one with the finance man. I call him the project manager.
Oh, okay. You got some fans in the studio. People seem to know who you all are, and so people are freaking out right now. That's wonderful stuff. All right, that's great. So I have this question, though, Winston and Felice. Are there types of businesses that you are looking at that you're saying, yeah, this is great, we need more of these, and are there others that you say, okay, I think we're saturated, we don't need any more?
I think based on what we've seen over the years, there's definitely 1 or 2 areas that we find quite a bit of saturation. And believe it or not, we have quite a number of rental car companies. Mm-hmm. It seemed to have taken off quite a bit, but there's quite a number of them out there now. But one of the things that we're trying to encourage persons to look at too is businesses that kind of come from the focus of the Economic Recovery Committee. We've been talking, you heard Felice talk about manufacturing, the orange economy, the shared economy. And by the way, the orange economy means things in the cultural space.
Right.
The shared economy means things such as Airbnb type persons who want to renovate their facilities to be able to accommodate that sort of travel arrangements. Because obviously, with the pandemic still being a factor, you may find that more persons are going to opt to go into smaller, quainter environments as opposed to huge hotels for their vacation experience.
All right. Wow. All right. So tell us quickly how people can get more information about the Access Accelerator, SBDC, if they've got a great idea and they definitely need some support. What do they need to do?
Okay, I just wanted to add to what Winston just said. So, in terms of the top industries that have been funded, food and beverage is number 1, construction 2, and then fashion number 3. And then we have tourism, professional services, and education. And since we started, we've helped entrepreneurs secure over $65 million in funding, and we're talking about over 1,500 entrepreneurs. And in terms of what investors, bankers look at in terms of approving applications, business viability in this current economic climate, is your business going to be profitable and sustainable? Management expertise, are you capable of executing the business plan? Historical financials, what is your proven track record? Credit history, how well did you satisfy any previous personal or business debt? And then, as Kim Bodie pointed out, owner's equity, how much of your personal money are you willing to risk on your business? If you want us to help you position your business in a light that is attractive to bankers and investors, then again, like I said, you can visit our website, accessaccelerator.org, and simply click the link, join us, and you will receive an invitation to start the process.
All right, wonderful stuff. I'm telling you, Kim and Christine, Kim, one of your guava danishes, and would have gone along very well with an IPA from Riptide this morning. That would have next time, right, Chester? That would have been great.
That's right.
That would
have been a breakfast of champions.
I'm telling you, I am telling you.
Dwight, I will make sure that you get something from the store.
Okay.
Since we are so near to the Guardian, I'm sure you will become one of our customers.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and my waistline will appreciate it a lot as well. But let's.
Careful, Dwight. It's addictive. It's addictive.
I can imagine. Okay, very quickly, Kim, give us your contact so people can reach out to you.
Yes, my cell number is 477-0222. And the other number is 698-3232.
Okay, and
you can reach me. My customers are calling now, so they can reach us on that number.
Okay,
those
excellent.
numbers. Sorry.
Excellent. And Christine, we know where Riptide is. Give us your contact numbers and all the information we need to reach out to you as well.
Thank you. We can be reached. We invite everyone to follow us on Facebook at Riptide Bahamian Craft Beer, TY''D. And on our Instagram account, rip.tide. And we now have a website. But I just want to add one more thing. If it wasn't for our marketing manager during the pandemic, we would never have made it. And we would like to thank her for all of her hard work getting us out there on social media. It was a blessing.
Okay. Call her name. You don't want to say her name?
My daughter, Morgan.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. Beautiful stuff. Christine Aubrey, Riptide, and Kim Bodie with KB Bakery and Deli. Thank you so much. Winston Roll and Felice Bethel with Access Accelerator, SBDC. We look forward to talking with you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you all for being here with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, that's it for us. Morning Blend Business. Back tomorrow morning after Morning Blend. Stay tuned. Chester, have a great one. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Everybody stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green.